let's get up and shock out. See, cause almighty are there.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is the West African Pro League, the first season, the maiden edition. brought to you by 3 Crowns Esports, and it is your main man, Priest. And I'm still here with Fire. Fire, how are you feeling? 2 new teams today, so how are you feeling after yesterday's madness?
Man, yesterday was absolutely crazy. You know, Sidizens just stepped it up at the right time and got themselves into that qualification zone. Royal Academy, who was just, you know, they might as well have just stayed at home, not played anything and still qualified yesterday, you know. So it was mad, it was crazy. And now we have, you know, guys I was hoping Active Gaming was going to miss out on, you know, all 3 brothers, you know, coming in and Disparaged. You know, those guys were absolutely outstanding during the junior league. So it's going to be tough because now if you look at the way if you look at the 2 teams that qualified yesterday, right, Sidizens and Royal Academy, it's not like they've had a very good run altogether, right? So throughout the competition, they've not been like at the top. So now looking at the lobby, I'm like, we still have a lot of guys that have been causing trouble. Yeah, right? We still have a lot of people. So it's not like, oh, you have Afro who's going to disturb. You have Invictus who's going to disturb. You have, you know, Habitual Gaming, Rage. So MOB, you know, Solo. Fowlplay is still there, so it's like there's still so much trouble, you know, if you know teams are, you know, looking to qualify. So you can't really tell which way it's gonna go. But 3 teams are going up today, so yeah, let's see. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, you know, yes. I think we're going to have another set of games tomorrow as well. You know, tomorrow should be the qualifying day. But then again, there's so much going on, going through in today's games. You know, a whole lot of these teams, this is again another try. You know, the participation level, you know, for the WAPL so far has been very hectic. You know, we've got 3 teams that have made it into the finals, you know, and the rest of these teams are trying to do the exact same thing. You know, there's a whole lot of what is the strategy now, because some of these teams, you know, this is going to be what, day 5, you know, of playing. They've been playing for 5 days and nothing come out, you know, and they are tired. They want to qualify, they want to make it in, but you know, what is it going to boil down to? What strategy are they going to whip out today? You know, it's Aranjo, first game of the day, fresh, everything fresh from Nature God, everything new, brand new. So it's all about, okay, what's the strategy going to be? How are we going to hold out this play zone? You know, I mean, the play zone is pretty centered up right now. So all of these teams do have to, you know, have a brand new type of strategy, because this thing between Fowlplay and Habitual Gaming North in Severny there, you know, that thing that they are doing right now, again, the violence that is ensuing in that north, that or possibly going to ensue in that north, is it going to be worth it this time around to get those points?
I actually don't know why that they keep sticking to doing this. I guess it's just some ritual that both of them probably just enjoy, you know, right now, because for me it's not worth the risk every single time, especially at this particular point where you're looking to qualify. If I was in their shoes, I would just be like, you know what, I'm just gonna go somewhere else. But sometimes, you know, habits just gets you to stick with, you know, your decisions over and over again, and maybe it works for them. And you also know there's been times when both of them will land in Severny and find a way to disperse without getting into fights. So that may also be a thing where they both have their various, you know, apartments that they've marked, and they're like, okay, you know what, just you stay over there, I stay over here, and you know, we don't get into any trouble.
Yeah, you know, I mean, it could be a thing of mutual understanding there, but mutual understanding, you know, it entails the 2 parties coming together to actually decide that yes, we're going to have a mutual understanding. You know, the guys from Harsh Esports unfortunately did not have a mutual understanding with Afro there, and hence they've already lost 2 of their players. I believe Torrid was the last one to go down, and Harsh Esports are already down to 2 players. But then play zone, nobody in military base or Novo, so that south is pretty much free. You know, everyone can decide to play from the southern edge and rotate all the way towards the west, but 03, the champions of the Nigerian Pro League, they are finally here. Speaking of the Nigerian Pro League, you are going to still catch 03 later tonight in season 6, the premiere of the NPL. So do not forget about that. More PUBG mobile content coming your way still. But then again, 03 is one of those teams to be on the lookout for, maintaining beauty all the way out there in the west. of Georgia. You know, nobody is contesting them right now. Funny enough, I've actually not seen a lot of teams that have, you know, played in that western position. You know, but then I see Fowlplay in the north with Habitual Gaming in Savernhy. You know, obviously they're cooking something there. But I am loving this split from IC. You know, First Arctics. I love their split. That's a beautiful split. A whole lot of opportunity to loot around, you know, and nobody's going to disturb you. I mean, that whole area there just for them. I mean, take a look at the split fire. This is a very good one for them to hold. You know, they should be able to get vehicles, supplies, everything they need in that entire northeastern area.
Yeah, absolutely. That is, you know, what they should be able to do without getting into any skirmish around with teams around them. They can very well navigate into the zone as we do continue to progress. But there's something going on right here. It does look like Active Gaming and Goth eSports are pretty close to each other, but the boys from Goth are just deciding not to engage and take on that fight. It could probably be because, you know, they're currently not looted off quite well. They just decided to, you know, avoid that particular fight and not get into any water. I wish we didn't see that, but it was just them. It was a very funny situation, Priest. It was like they were just all lying down in the grass. They were like, wait, hold on, just hold on. Shh. Don't say a word. Don't say a word. You know, the boys from Active just drove by them. So that was actually lovely to see. It does look like everyone's trying as much as possible to be smart in the way they are taking on fights right now. They're trying as much as possible to avoid those ones. But taking a look at the way the map is currently positioned, we do have a whole bunch of teams sitting in the zone right now, coming all the way from Milta and Milta Power. You have the boys from Solo Esports who are not too far away from FAM, so that it wouldn't be quite hard for them to rotate in. I do believe the guys who are going to have a little bit of trouble and might get into a fight is, you know, either the boys from Rig Deji and his boys or Goth Esports, who is somewhere situated around Shelter, now looking to navigate into the zone. So good stuff for all of these teams. I do believe that they found, you know, their spot for now. Let's see how it continues to progress.
Yeah, you know, holding out your particular landing position, you know, for the play zone, you have to be very, very proactive, you know, and get ready for any kind of engagement that's going to come your way. But then again, it's a matter of mentals, you know, how you're mentally prepared, because I feel very, very bad for Active Gaming because they came so close to qualifying, you know, and it was just yesterday. Now it's a brand new day, brand new leaderboard, brand new teams, you know, added into the mix. Now your strategy has to, you know, you have to improve on that, you know, because they've gotten so close to the finals, you know, and it's one thing to get very, very close and not make it than to be very far away and know that you're not going to make it, you know, because Active Gaming, they put in everything into that final game, into the final couple of games yesterday, and they did a fantastic job. Unfortunately, you know, they just the guys from Royal Academy just kept doing a little bit, just enough, actually, just enough to get themselves into that final.
To the final. It was really close because the boys from Active Gaming were just 6 points away from Royal Academy, and I do believe, like we spoke about, it was that Savernhy game where Afro eSports took the boys from Active Gaming out quite early that changed everything. Because just think about it, if Active Gaming had wiped out the boys from Afro eSports, that's 4 points. Now going on, if they had only 2 more knocks or two more eliminations, that means that they would have been on equal points with the boys from Royal Academy. So if it was just down to very slim margins, and I think Royal Academy can thank the boys from Afro Esports for taking out the boys from Active Gaming in that Savernhy map. Sometimes this happen, and you know, you find yourself in those type of situations.
Yeah, you know, but then fire with all this if that's what they call you if I waiting there happen, just the if up and down. Well, unfortunately, it didn't work out, and hopefully, you know, they've learned a couple of things from those engagements from yesterday, and hopefully they can apply it today, you know, and do so much better. But I am the play zone is you know, squeezing these teams just a little bit central. That northern area is looking very interesting, but Active Gaming getting caught out by the thorn in their side. Afro Esports again. Hope has to be careful. I think this might just be the cue for them to get out of dodge. Afro Esports is not one to take things lying down. They do not forgive. They will chase you down. You know, we've seen them do it in the past. Unfortunately, it didn't work out for them against the guys from Goth eSports, I believe. They did get eliminated very, very early, the time they decided to chase a team down. But then again, this is active gaming, so the same thing might just happen to them if they are not careful enough. But fortunately, I think they are just going to, you know, wrap around and get a better position. You can see Hunter here just picking, you know, with taking a little bit of a positional advantage from this area here. But again, you know, Afro Esports, they are not a team that likes to forgive. They love engagements. You know, they're already 3 eliminations up, and this is the right way to start the day.
Yeah, absolutely. About some Afro Esports, you know, just gathering on them points as much as they can right now. And the zone's really now tough for a lot of those teams who are coming in from that, should I say, eastern region. Teams like, you know, Afro Esports, teams like, you know, Active Gaming, teams like Goth Esports, who are moving all the way from those regions around Lipovka, you know, Prison and Mansion, now trying as much as possible to go towards that western region. You can see the zone is forming around that space where, you know, the boys from O3 were currently situated. And sitting down in Pochinki, you have the boys from MOB who already have that place to call their own. So everyone's just hopping into their vehicle and trying as much as possible to get into the zone right now. It's pretty choked up, and we're going to see a lot of skirmishes just begin to happen as soon as they get into that center.
You know, the center of the circle, you know, that is where you want to be right now, because, you know, that style of play is very, very valid in a map like this. You know, playing in the center, all you have to do is hold a little bit of a position, you know, or a compound or something that's going to work right through there. But again, that western area is looking very, very congested as the guys from O3 finally get their first elimination, and it is going to be the guys from Fowlplay that are going to take that damage, unfortunately for them. But Team Rage as well, putting some bullets into the guys from First Arctics. Rag and Bone knocked down presently, trying to find cover behind his buggy, and his teammate Asimi is going to be pulling up to the scene just to get that revive working through. But then the guys from No Rage are sending the bullets consistently, peppering every single shot they can, holding the hills by themselves. They are trying to get their first elimination, trying to deal damage towards the guys from First Arctics, and they might just decide to blow up the buggy there if Rag and Bone and Asimi are not careful. In this kind of scenario, though, you know, the rest of the team should be sending bullets back. There should be cover fire, you know, from the rest of the players from First Arctic. So your match should be doing, you know, something else rather than just moving around in this position. But fortunately, they are going to be making it out in time. Ragabone, that is not smart. He should have gotten his health back up, and I told you why. He's going to get blown up immediately there by the guys from No Rage Esports. Now, Fire, this kind of engagement, it is never ever safe.
Yeah, it's never really safe. He probably should have got himself back up, smoked around the area and gotten ready for a fight. Like you said, you know, the cover fire coming in from his teammate, you might have provided them with the opportunity to just hold them back for a little while. Sometimes it's not about getting the shots. A lot of players are always looking to get that knock or two, but it's just to keep them at bay as long as you need for your teammates to be able to recover. But that didn't happen in this particular one, and it does look like they are going to be paying for that. But look at the boys right there from Rage. They are just taking on everyone who's trying to rotate into that zone and getting a whole bunch of kills early on right here. This is what really matters, because getting into that final circle, you may not get those kills. You may not be able to grab those points, but if you can get about 3 to 4 kills just before you get into the fourth, the fifth stage, then yeah, it's going to definitely pay off.
You know, early eliminations always pay off, as you can tell. You know, the guys from Afro Esports now trying to get this engagement between themselves and Vibe, but that's a beautiful grenade from Peachy trying to use the grenade to do his dirty work. Again, he pops to the left-hand side. He's trying to find Iceman. The grenade is trying to throw it again. Iceman makes the mistake of running in the open, and he is going to be dropped down immediately as well. And Vibe is in trouble. Peachy's getting dropped down, and Kenny tries his best, but he is going to be sent back into the lobby. Vibe on their way out, escorted by the guys from Afro Esports.
Oh, Afro Esports putting in the work right there as they do get themselves a couple more kills right here. They are looking quite strong in this one, as they've confirmed 4 extra players right there for the boys from Vibe Gaming, and you can see them sitting down with 7 eliminations going into that final circle. This is what Afro Esports does. They're always, you know, trying as much as possible to get those eliminations and to continue to boost themselves up. But we've known them for, you know, grabbing those extra few points and not getting themselves those placement points as well. I do hope that this this is the game that, you know, continues to motivate them to boost up. But let's now turn our sights onto the boys from Extreme. You can see two of the players currently down, coming up against the boys from MOB. They're putting in the work right there. There's some third party coming in as well. Senior Boy has got to fight it out for his teammates. Maybe, just maybe they can get that revive just in time. But Creed is not having any of that as he pulls up into that position where Senior Boy is currently at. He's holding things back. You see, this is the thing we talked about in the other fight, where sometimes all you got to do is hold back for your teammates for them to be able to get the revive.
Exactly, you know, it's all about the strategy there. You have to play it time and time again for it to be actually useful, for it to work. You know, and the guys from Men of Blood are going to be trying the exact same thing here, but it's not going to be working out. Beautiful play coming in, you know, for the rest of the team there. Unfortunately, 11 has been sent back into the lobby, and they might just be approaching the guys from Active Gaming, but Team Extreme, beautiful use, you know, of cover and cover fire as well in that scenario there. Fortunately for them, they are not going to be losing any players. And again, that is how you want to play as a team. You have to hold out every single position. But again, Active Gaming, spray after spray, drop 2 out of the guys from Men of Blood, and Magic is going to be casting spells to escape from that scenario there, and his juju is going to work because he's not going to be spotted out. But beautiful play from the guys from Active. 2 eliminations already in their name.
Oh, Active Gaming getting into some skirmishes right here as they do pull up onto, or they do take out a couple of players right there. But now there's the boys from Afro eSports who are currently within their vicinity. They've got to be really careful on how they're pushing onto this one. They do get a knock onto one of the players right there, which is Peachy, but they've got to somehow find a way to stay alive in this particular game right there. You see Hope putting up onto Swags. He does get the knock, and there's also Neil within this vicinity as well. Neil also goes down. Hope putting in the work right there and taking out a couple of players from the boys from Afro, and this is what Afro does not want. Absolutely losing 2 players quite early right there. Hope getting those extra eliminations right there. He now pulls and turns his sight onto the rest of the players right there from Afro. But will Peachy be pulling away from this fight, getting out of that particular position and trying as much as possible to keep his team alive? It does look like that's what he's gonna do. But man, what a fight between the two of them. The boys from Active Gaming showing that they really want this as they do get those few confirmations.
Ooh, Active Gaming getting super active. Big shout out to Hope there, you know, as he's giving the rest of his teammates absolutely beautiful, you know, amounts of hope there with that beautiful play against the guys from Afro eSports. I didn't know he was going to spot that snake in the grass, but he did a fantastic job, you know, because that was the plan there, and the plan did not work for Afro eSports, and unfortunately for them, they've lost 2 players. They do have 7 eliminations though, but so does O3, and O3 have all their players up. O3 are actually on the right path right now, and it looks like they're already starting to cook something, and it looks like something sweet is going to be heading into their dinner place tonight. And again, beautiful play from the guy from First Arctic, but Skies is going to go down. Fox is the victor right here, and it looks like that guy is going to be the victim again. Athemi pops outside. He might just be dropped down. Honey Badger is not the weapon of choice right now, but he is all that he has, as Your Might is going to be pulling up to the scene there, most wanted in unsavory positions there. Your Might is going to be swaying left and right. He pops into the little corner there, and a couple of shots sent through to Andofi, but again, the Molotov is going to cook them. Cheese every single corner there. Your Might again is going to try 1 versus 1. He peeks outside. He tries his best, and he is going to be cut down to about 40 HP, but beautiful play from Fox there. Fox using the 1v1 advantage. Again, he tries, but his head is going to be found. Asimi is the one who knocks, and he knocks him down immediately, and beautiful play from the guys from First Arctic, but again, Lilith is going to pull up to the scene. Now it's a 1v1 again. How is Asimi going to do it? Is he going to do it 3 times a charm? Again, he does. Beautiful play from Asimi, but how much can he do? Oh my days! Asimi is the man. He is Walter White. He has cooked the entire team of Most Wanted. 1 versus 4 in the WAPL. This is the violence I love to see. Amazing chef stuff coming in right there from Asimi, as he does get a couple of eliminations right there and takes out the boys. My goodness, what a game coming on right here. Turning our sights right now onto Solo Esports. They've got a couple of players from Extreme who are currently swimming around right there, trying as much as possible to evade the shots
coming in right there from Doctor, but that nade coming in from Invictus might just cause some damage. Invictus currently in a farming position right now as they're just looking as much as possible to get those knocks coming in from the several players around this region. And you can see right there, Neo popping on the nade. He does get a knock. And can he get that confirmation? Because Invictus is one of those teams that was really close to qualifying as well. So they will obviously be willing the opportunities that were lost and be looking to get those confirmations right here.
Yeah, there's so many opportunities, for confirmations there, as you can tell, how the rest of these teams do want to be playing this one. Invictus using their last strength just to get a couple of eliminations for themselves. They are already 2 eliminations up, but then the ops they have in front of them is 0-3 brothers, so they have to be careful. They have to be ready. They have, to hold these positions just at the right kind of level, just to keep the guys from 0-3 at bay, because the play zone is not going to be friendly towards 0-3. You can see Skrillex already making the rotation towards the west hand side there. He might just use the opportunity to pull up to the scene, but Invictus, this is the game for them. All they have to do is keep 0-3 at bay, but it's going to be very difficult because 0-3 is that team. They have to be very careful. But Afro Esports, let's not forget about them. They have 10 eliminations. They're already doing the right thing here. They're cooking, and the food might just start getting done.
Man, the circle is looking quite tight right now in our stage 5. A lot of these teams are looking to find a spot for themselves. The boys from Active Gaming are looking to probably finish the skirmish going on between them and the boys from Afro Esports. They're currently quite close to each other, but you can see the shots are just letting loose. Daddy sending on the shots towards the region, and also Skinny is also rotating around that spot as well. So it's a tough one for a whole bunch of these guys as they're looking to find themselves into quite a great position. And the boys from Active Gaming pulling up onto those containers, but Daddy is currently trying to be that Trojan horse as he sends out the shots onto that position where Hope is currently at, but he's not able to do any damage. There's also the boys from Afro Esports who are planning to now begin their rotations into that zone, so it's going to be a really tight one. MOB not too far away from the boys from Active, and we're down to 8 teams left in this particular one. Who's going to be grabbing home that winner chicken dinner? Not too far away is also Invictus and 0-3. Invictus and 0-3. What do you think about this, Priest?
Invictus and 0-3, you see how the guys from 0-3 have actually taken the position, that Invictus had. It's an unfortunate scenario here because I felt, Invictus was going to push them all the way back. They did find a way to still squeeze themselves into this position, into this zone, and somehow Titan is going to fall down to the guys from Active Gaming. Hope, once again, the thorn in the flesh, the thorn in the side. He's sending bullets to every single person, out there. But 0-3 as well, going to take serious trouble, going to take serious danger. A knock is going to come towards the guys from 0-3, but the confirmation might not just work through. Afro Esports in the chat right there, and they've been spotted and they've been sent back into the lobby. Men of Blood finally getting spotted again. Griff, beautiful shot from Neo there, catches Griff by the head, and Nexus goes down as well. Now 0-3 is in trouble. Invictus might just take the opportunity to wipe out one of the best teams right now. Neo leading the charge, grenade in hand, but I think that's a smoke grenade actually, trying to cover the view, and again he's trying to find an angle towards the guys from 0-3 brothers, but 0-3 is one of those teams again. Daddy pulls up from somewhere on the left hand side, catches Neo, drops him down to his knees, and now it's an opportunity for the guys from 0-3 to capitalize. Another grenade from Skrillex, and another one from 0-3 goes down. This time it's Pintua. 0-3 just doing a fantastic job keeping the guys from Invictus at bay, and it's all left to Titan and Rogue Baby, the MVP, the last 2 up. But 0-3 are not to be trifled with. They are going to take this engagement. Take a look at Griff. He's in the water. He might just take the opportunity to pull up from behind and pinch the guys from Invictus. Oh my days, is 0-3. They might just be doing that thing they know how to do, fire. 0-3 is cooking. You can see Griff in the water. They don't know that he's there. He's going to pull up from behind. This might just be the opportunity for 0-3 to wipe out Invictus, and Griff is going to pull it from the left hand side. He finally catches the first one, but the return fire is absolutely brilliant. Again, Titan gets Skrillex, drops him down to his knees. Invictus is cooking, but again Reels is there for the rescue, and Reels is going to catch Titan this time and drop him down to the ground. And now is the last opportunity, but Daddy from Harsh Esports is the thief. He is the one that steals the game from Invictus. Unfortunate scenes here, fire. Unfortunate scenes.
Oh my goodness. Who was cooking this soup? the boys from 03 were looking like they were going to get sent out right there, but somehow, Daddy was their savior. He came to the rescue, obviously, being that, you know, Trojan Horse coming in from that corner right there, just gets in those eliminations for his team, and over again, it was just a ton in everyone's side. Now being sent home by the boys from Active Gaming, he's going out in that 6th place. But obviously he did the work for his team right there, as he got them those eliminations that they were looking for. Now the boys from 03, who were down to the last player, can come into this particular one, having gotten those eliminations, and look to see if they can snatch this game.
Ooh, there's a whole opportunity, you know, when it comes to snatching the game. There's so much that's involved here. But Active Gaming, I do have to enjoy the way they've been playing. But Team Extreme finally taking on 03 Brothers. Beautiful play from Sean. He knows how to use the 1v1 ability, CQC at its finest. And he does get 2 players from the guys from 03. Griff and Skrillex are already down on their knees, and the confirmation might just come through from Sean there. Opportunity for the guys from Team Extreme to get some serious points for themselves. First confirmation comes through. Second one going to ring right through as well. And now Extreme with their last player Sean doing all the work, carrying, you know, back-breaking activity as well. But Team Extreme still hanging out by a thread there. He has a little bit of play zone to work with, and that's a beautiful position to have. But there comes 03, Nexus and Reels, a dynamic duo. It looks like the guys from Active are taking this opportunity not lightly here. Skinny is going to be pulling up as well, but Hope is there behind. He is going to be knocked down, but the confirmation is going to come through. Beautiful play from Reels as he gets the confirmation. What a way to steal. Oh my days, 03 Brothers just cooking left, right, and center. 12 eliminations to them, and they're looking for 13. Another one from the right hand side. Skinny's going to pop right through, and he is going to be spotted by Reels. Drop down to his knees. Afro Esports in the rear end, sending some bullets their way as well. As you can see, Anes charging the grenade. He's trying to catch someone, just trying to find a body, trying to deal damage towards somebody there. Let the grenade connect. Let the grenade do some damage. Just 03 Brothers trying to hold their thought there. Is Reels and Nexus still cooking one after the other. But let's not forget about Peachy from Afro Esports. He is on the west hand side. Sean as well on the north, coming in from inside. Anyone's game at this point. There's 5 players left. There'll be 5 teams left and 6 bodies in the lobby. Fire, anyone can take this, but who's your money on?
Man, it is looking like the boys from Active have the numbers to get this one. They're currently sitting down with 2 players. Everyone else is an individual player just holding it out for their life right now. The boys from Active Gaming and 03 are currently sitting down in that center. Can Real somehow battle it out and keep them in this particular game right here? You do see everyone just holding on their spot for their life right now. And it's all down to very little choices or margin. But having 2 players, if you can work together, you could actually seal this game through. But it's very tough, going to be very tough for every single one of them. Look at that nade coming into that position right there, as that nade does get Skinny down. And my goodness, is this going to be one of those moments we saw many times, you know, several different teams just cooking up with the nades, and that will be Active Gaming going out right there in 5th position. Man, crazy stuff for Active Gaming as they do get themselves 9 kills, and right now it's all down to, you know, just it's down to anybody right now, man, Priest.
Yes, it's definitely down to anybody right now. But Sean finally being spotted by Peachy and eliminated. But Peachy is spotted as well from Asimi there. Asimi is still in the game. The 1v4 maestro, the best player in the guys from First Arctics for as far as today is concerned. He has been absolutely fantastic. But a beautiful grenade from Peachy there, and it's not going to do the trick. It's a 1 versus 1, and Peachy with the upper ground. But Peachy's not clear of his position. But Asimi knows where Peachy is. All he needs is that little bit of a peek. But the play zone is going to be squeezing him out there. He might be spotted very, very soon. He doubles back. The grenade might just get him, but fortunately he doesn't. But Peachy knows that he's up there. Grenade after grenade. Peachy's trying to get an angle, and this might just be the grenade that does it. But again, he spots him, sends him down to about 10 HP. But Pasibi is careful enough to escape, but we know what he can do with 10 HP. All he needs is 1 HP, and he will be able to do whatever he needs to do. Beautiful play from the guys from First Arctic, surviving this long. 5 eliminations in, but now, Asimi trying to get an angle there, but Peachy has a better angle. He has the high ground, and all he has to do is maintain that energy, maintain that beauty, and he might just do the trick. Another grenade from Peachy. It's like he's Osama out here. He's like he's trying to turn this whole place into Baghdad or Aleppo or Syria. The name goes on, but he continues to spam the grenades one after the other. Afro Esports, this might just be the way to start their day with a banger. Another grenade comes through. Again, Peachy goes to the ground. He might be spotted. He's spotted out now. He tries to jump. A couple of shots sent towards his way by Asimi again. Asimi is now on the chase. He knows that his HP is down, but he might just decide not to take the opportunity to deal damage to the last player from Afro Esports. Afro Esports with at least 12 eliminations, and this is going to be a very, very good way for them to start. But let's not forget, it could all change in a moment. Chicken dinners count for something. And again, the guy from First Arctics have been dealing damage all day, every day, courtesy of this guy. But Peachy again is going to make use of that, that high ground, that high position. This might just be the thing that works in his favor.
Man, I think he's playing this quite smart right here, as he's just waiting for that opportunity to take Peachy down. If the zone does move away from his line of sight, it might just be the end. You can see Asimi just waiting and just looking around, just noticing every single inch of that container. And you can see Peachy just lurking around, trying to pray to their God that the zone does not leave his position. If not, they do lose those extra 4 points with that winner chicken dinner. But regardless, they've gotten themselves 15 points in this particular one. They've done quite well. Obviously, we'll be standing at the top of the leaderboard by the time this game is done. And look at those amount of kills that Peachy's currently sitting now with. 11 kills, double digits to himself. And right now, it's all down to very little margins, as he will be looking to grab that win. And he does get the chicken dinner with 12 kills. It is the boy Peachy for Afro Esports.
16 eliminations and 11 to Peachy. Peachy has to be the MVP again. Fantastic play coming in from Afro Esports, and now they've shown that they can cook in any map. It's not just Miramar. They can cook anywhere you point them, anywhere you give them a spatula, anywhere you give them a spoon, they will turn it into a kitchen and they will cook. And they will not just cook anything, they will cook food with a sweet, and food with a sweet. Now it's in the chop, and that is what I love to see. Beautiful play from Afro Esports. But then even better from Asimi there. Fantastic play. He held on. That is the definition of holding on. He held on for dear life, held on so tightly, and that was a way to go. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful stuff, coming in from the guys from First Arctics. Not a lot of eliminations for them though, and I think 03 got double digits as well. So, the leaderboard is going to be a little tight, and it's so interesting because the leaderboard right now is already giving, the idea of what it's going to look like. But beautiful play from Afro Esports. Take a look there. Peachy, 12 eliminations fire. Now this is how you start the day.
And absolutely, the entire team getting 16 eliminations. That is 26 points from the first game only. And we were talking about this the other day, like what is going to be the play start for the boys from Afro Esports? At some point in time, they looked like they were going to get taken out of the game by the boys from Active Gaming, but they still fought it through right until the very end. And the boy Peachy got himself a very good position all the way up on those containers, and managed to keep them alive, to keep the hopes alive in this game up until the very end, where he did grab that chicken dinner. But that was not the entire story. We just saw a lot of fight coming in from 03. 03 was about to get taken out, but all of a sudden they got saved by Hash Daddy right there, who got that elimination onto the last guy from Extreme and kept their hopes alive in the game, and they were able to grab more eliminations before they finally got taken out of the game. So it was fight upon fight at every single corner, and I'm loving what I'm seeing so far.
Big shout out to the guys from 03 and Afro Esports. They showed domination. Those two teams were just dominating the entire lobby, double digits. I don't think, I've seen this kind of performance so far. I've seen a game where three teams, I think, had double digits, across the board, but I've not seen, this kind of domination. That's 29 eliminations just between two teams. That's absolutely insane. Take a look, so you can see the distance, covered by the rest of these teams. Significantly high level of damage across the board. Fantastic play coming in from them, 03. But no Rage Esports as well. Commendable performance from them as well. I think they adopted a new strategy, early engagement, catching out a couple of players from the guys from First Arctics, also catching a couple of players from Habitual Gaming. Habitual Gaming, unfortunately, not having the best of games. Fowlplay, Goth eSports, equally getting dropped down. Disparaged, brand new team. We've not seen their doings just yet. We're looking forward to seeing it, in the next game. Sanok is that map they love to brew in, so I'm looking forward to seeing how they are going to be performing. But then again, fantastic play coming from Afro Esports with 26 points. And I feel, based off of what we've seen, the threshold should be 70 points. I think if you make 70 points, you should be fine.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. If you can rack up those amount of points, then you're fairly safe. But regardless of that, we'll see how the game continues to build up as we'll be moving into a Sandhog game just right after the break.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the West African Pro League. It is your boy Priest, and I am still here with Fire. We saw a fantastic performance from the guy from Afro Esports, especially Peachy. What a way to start the day. Beautiful stuff coming in from Afro Esports. Now, Fire, how does that make you feel? Seeing that they already did, what was that? How many eliminations were that? 16? You know, I think they had like 16 eliminations and a chicken dinner to boot, 26 points. Now that is how you start the day. That is really how you start the day. Do you think they can do this again? More? Do we expect more of this?
I mean, obviously they have the heavyweight lifter there, Peachy, whose back is probably really hurting him right now, you know, getting the chicken dinner for them. But can he continue to do the thing on his own? I don't know. You rarely see that happening back to back. Probably maybe in the third or the fourth game, he probably needs to rest his shoulders a bit, you know. Probably still sore from all that carried.
You know, yes, but I really want to see more of Asimi though. After that performance he just had, I'm looking, you know, I want to see more of that. I think he can do more of that. I'm interested in seeing, you know, some more action just like that. So, you know, again, it is Sandhawk. It is a map of violence. All you have to do is get, you know, hit the ground running, get a couple of eliminations, boot up, and then get ready to get those points very quickly, you know. And I think the guys from No Rage Esports, I want to be on the lookout for them. I saw a little bit of, you know, an idea of what they're trying to accomplish or what they're trying to achieve, you know, right there. So I saw DG was actually firing on all four cylinders in the last game, so I hope to see more of that as well. Disparaged, you know, I didn't see anything from them in the last game, but hopefully, you know, I can see something from them in this game. So yeah, you know, I'm looking forward to that. It's Sanok, you know, violence everywhere you go. The play zone, or rather the playing path, you know, it's a little, I would call this a little bit of a central playing path. Maybe those teams that are going to be landing in Hatin and Camp Alpha might not be the best for them, but you know, I think they should be able to manage, you know, with the size of the map.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll see how that one actually does build for them. As we are now moving into the Sandhawk game right there. You see that map move all the way from that northeastern region around Camp Bravo right down to that southwest where Sammy is located, which does give a lot of these teams the opportunities to move towards their favorite spots. And since there's no citizens in this game, Priest, it does mean that Afro Esports is probably clear to just hold that spot right there in boot camp.
Yeah, you know, boot camp is where they love to be. You know, I think they are going to be choosing it this time around, but Disparaged is also a team that loves to be, you know, in boot camp. So, you know, if the guys from Afro are ready to fight in boot camp with Disparaged, so be it.
Absolutely. All right, so turning our sights right now onto the teams who are currently situated right here in Camp Bravo. It is the boys right there from Active Gaming as well as the boys from Most Wanted. And you can see Sleepless just trying as much as possible to get the loot on and to see if he can, you know, get himself into a good position. But he's currently really low as he does get taken down right there by Lilies, and it is now beginning to get tough. The boys from Active Gaming are currently surrounded by the boys right there from Most Wanted, and I'll be looking to see if they can get themselves out of this mess. They've lost one player, they've lost Sleepless, and it is not looking quite great for them. And Annie is currently right next to Fox, and Fox is just edging right there outside that building. If he does cross into that position, he might get taken out by Anez, but it's a very tough one. I do think that he is aware that Anez is in that position right there, just inside that small corner, and the boys from Most Wanted will be looking to see if they can somehow scrape something out of this game. They came into this game with just a two-man squad, so it's a 2v3 situation right now, but the rest of the players from Active Gaming are currently not within this vicinity. They're rushing, they're coming in. Skinny and Hope have finally approached this position, and they do take down the second player right there from Active Gaming. It is a Ness who gets taken out, and the rest of the players right there, Hope and Skinny, are left to battle this one out for your team.
Ooh. Active Gaming, unfortunately, they're not really active right now. It is an unfortunate scenario then, but then again, Afro eSports catching a whiff of the guys from Disparaged, sending not one, but two down to the ground. An unfortunate scenario there, as Briggs is going to be knocked down as well, but now it's all left to Dishonest and Disarray. The last two are for the guys from Disparaged. Swags is on top of the roof, he's jumping around, just hopping around there, trying to discourage them, to make those moves, to make those pushes, and Swags already charging through. He sends one of these first utilities outside just to keep the rest of the guys from Disparaged at bay, but Swags is going to move through from that position. Dishonest still has the AKM in hand, trying to catch him off guard. Beautiful play from the guys from Afro eSports. They're holding every single possible position, but again, Dishonest tries his best. He might just be spotted. The cover fire is going to do his best again. He just catches him as he tries to escape, but Peachy is going to be the one that tries his best to come through that corner there, and the confirmation might not just walk through again. Peachy tries again. He might just jump through. He jumps outside. He is going to do the job again. Peachy just too OP. He gets another one, and the third to come through as well. Disparaged, sent back into the lobby in 16th place. Beautiful play from the guys from Afro eSports.
Oh, Afro still looking quite strong in this particular one as they do get themselves a couple of eliminations right there and take out the boys from Disparaged from the game. Disparaged, one of those teams who were looking quite great in the junior league, not being able to live up to those performances that they had in that one right there. But you can see that they do still have a couple of opportunities to come back in this one and try as much as possible to perform. Sanok is always that one different map, Priest. Is always, that map that, should I say, tests you somehow and, test your resilience. So we'll see how that one actually does work out for the guys right there. But things are still shaping up quite great as we're still currently in that stage one. We're seeing a couple of skirmishes here and there, but I don't believe any team has wait, it's just one team, Disparaged, who has been taken out. A couple of players have been lost here and there. Active Gaming has lost two. The Bottom Rage have lost one player. Active Gaming has taken out one of the players from Most Wanted, and LB from Fowlplay has also been sent back into the lobby. So it's a little bit of touch here and there, but not a lot of action so far as we're currently moving on to that second stage. We might see something going down between the boys from Rage and Invictus right here, but it's all down to who gets that first knock.
Beautiful. I do love the positioning, coming in from the guys from No Rage Esports. They are spread very, very nicely. Unfortunately, DG has been sent back into the lobby, so they are working at the numbers disadvantage here. But Alpha's position is fantastic. Top G equally fantastic as well. But Top C has been spotted there, and he is going to be dropped down somehow. There's no cover. Invictus might just use the opportunity to deal the rest of the damage towards the guys from No Rage Esports, as Top C is still on the ground and no way to save him. But fortunately for them, the guys from Invictus might just be using the opportunity again to get the confirmation, and it's all left to Top G. Again, he's on the left-hand side trying to keep the guys from Invictus at bay. You can see Neil inside of the building there, just trying inside to squeeze through, and he might just get another confirmation. Rogue Baby is going to use the opportunity to climb on top there just to get the confirmation, but Neil comes outside. Neil's been spotted, but can't knock. Unfortunately, Alpha has given away his position, and now the guys from Invictus have all the odds. They know exactly where everyone is, and they know exactly how to play this. They are going to be out of dodge. They will not let Alpha see any of them for sure, and now they're trying to take out Top G. They know that he's there. He peeks outside. It's a 1 versus 3 scenario. Is it going to work out for him? No, I don't think so, but again, because Titan is on his left-hand side and he hasn't seen him, the cover fire might just work against Alpha there, but again, he's not there. The outside is unsafe because he's tapped again. Top G trying to do his best, but it's not so easy right now because he's swarming enemies every single where he looks, and Alpha is still north of that position trying to give him cover fire, but it's not looking like it's going to work out for him because the guys from Harsh are still in the north. They might just be pulling up very soon, but Pintua opens and shuts the door. He's playing pranks, he's playing games, he's playing mental games against Top G here, and again, they might just use the opportunity to squeeze through in a 2 versus 1, but Team Invictus, how long are they willing to take this one out?
Man, you gotta be taking it quite quickly before you lose that opportunity. But right here, you're seeing Top G get taken out. Finally, they do take the opportunity to wait for the right moment, and you see that does work out well for them. And right now, the boys from Harsh are also looking to come in between the vicinity and look to take out the boys from Invictus right there. You can see Harsh One has already gotten a knock, and they might be making their push onto that location. I'm not sure what Armor is doing. It does look like he's just pulling back away from that one, where they should be going in. You've taken out one of the players from Invictus. You need those kills, but he does look like he's backing off, Priest.
Yeah, it is one of those things if you can actually, follow through with your plans. It is very hard to follow through. Following through with the plan is usually the hardest part of the plan, because you might decide, okay, yeah, this is what we're going to do. But when push comes to shove, you're not going to see it through. Now, Harsh Esports did pull up to that beautiful position there and they got a knock. That is the opportunity for them to rally, and surprise the guys from Invictus, because Invictus just got out of an engagement. They're already tired. They're already worn out. All the players are already down. They are not going to expect brand new ops in that general area, especially brand new ops that just got a first knock on them. But Habitual Gaming once again getting spotted out by the guys from Men of Blood. We saw this in the last game. They did get into a little bit of a skirmish early on, but 11 is going to be trying his best to do a 1 versus 2. But Jealousy is north of that position and he is the free man. 11 might just expose himself a little bit too long, and if Jealousy spray is right, it might just do the trick. But Magic is also there on the northeastern side, and he might just spot Psycho and Henro momentarily the moment they try again to push up in. But again, it's a 2 versus 1 here. But now 11 uses the terrain to his advantage, and that is the beauty of teamwork. Fantastic cover fire coming in from Rage right there. 11 will be snatching and get the last elimination, but Jealousy has been spotted. He sent a couple of shots, but 11 spray is just better. 11 is just too OP. 11 will eliminate him all the way from there if he's not careful. Jealousy, do not do it. Do not be tempted. This is not what you want. You do not want to play long range with 11 at all.
Man, crazy stuff right there. Jealousy coming in, right next to 11. And I usually don't like this type of battles, just fighting outside the zone. I do believe that, it does lead to mutually assured destructions on both points. So for me, I would rather teams just try as much as possible to get themselves into a good position within that zone. As you can see, that zone already now shifting towards that southeastern region with several different teams already finding a spot to call their own. The boys from Vibe Gaming sitting quite in that center, not too far away from the boys from 03 around that region, and Quarry, the boys from Afro eSports as well, looking quite strong. So we might see something going down there pretty soon. We still got about 13 teams right here and 45 bodies, and it's left to the skirmishes and the next zone to see what's going to be happening. Remember, guys, do hit that like and hit that subscribe. Tell us who you're supporting and who you think is going to be taking this one home between these teams right here in Sandhawk.
Yeah, don't forget, guys, this is the WAPL, brought to you by 3 Crown Esports, all the way from Africa, giving you guys pure PUBG Mobile content at its finest. Harsh Esports, one of those teams that we've seen, they can be very, very unruly. They can hold out positions for the longest of times, but then again, it might just be time for them to cook something very sweet for themselves and for the rest of their team, and for the rest of the lobby there, because finally I've seen Amar. I've not been seeing Amar, in this tournament so far, so it's nice to see Amar. Amar is one of those top tier players for the guys from Harsh Esports, so I do love to see it. Afro Esports once again still leading the charge, but then again we have Invictus, Men of Blood as well, with a couple of eliminations under their belt so far. Solo Esports is in the vicinity here, just holding a little bit of the outside of the zone there, not too far away, 400 meters out. But then Sanhok is not the map you want to be outside of the zone, just like you said, Fire. You do not want to be outside of the Sanhok zone. It is so unfriendly out there. The streets is cold. But I think we saw a little bit of a healing thing come through yesterday in Sandhawk. I think from the guys from Men of Blood, they did manage to squeeze out a couple of heals, for the team that managed to get them some points, but unfortunately it wasn't necessarily for the longest. Harsh Esports are heading towards that northern area. Might just run into the guys from Solo Esports, and they also might get pinched by Afro here. Peachy already 4 eliminations in, but Solo Esports are the teams that are going to catch them first and foremost. And now Afro Esports playing from the north as well, and I think Swags has someone right in front of him, but I'm not sure he knows of that just yet. A surprise, he does spot a buggy there, so he knows he has to be on his guard, and the rest of his teammates he's pointed that out, and I think it's Amar. Amar is a very dangerous player. He's prone on the ground there, and he might just use the opportunity to do something crazy, for the guys from Harsh Esports.
Man, what a time right there. right there for all of these teams. You can see Amar just looking for that opportunity to take down one of the players right there from Afro Esports, but he does get spotted and is about to get sent back into the lobby. They're in a three-way fight coming in with the boys from Solo Esports, and the boys from Afro have also got to be careful right here, as it is looking quite tough for all of these guys right in this particular one. The boys from Afro have still got a full squad, so they're looking like they might be able to repeat the performance that they had in the previous game. In this particular one, they're sitting down with 6 eliminations so far, and Afro continuing on with the onslaught that they had in the previous game, with Peachy getting himself 4 kills in this particular game, continuing with the onslaught so far around him. But the boys from Solo Esports are down to just 2 players, Priest. They're down to just Mighty and Floyd to somehow keep them alive in this game. And Solo, what do you think is happening with Solo? We talked about it during the Junior League that, you know, they're one of those teams that we do expect to see perform quite well, but somehow things are not just working out for them.
You know, they keep getting distracted. You know, their play style keeps getting changed, you know, every single time, because I believe the lobby it keeps giving them some significant difficulty. You know, whenever they want to make their rotations, you know, they're not necessarily an edge playing team, you know, so far, but they've been consistently being forced to play in an uncomfortable situation most of the time. You know, so it's an unfortunate scenario for the guys from Solo Esports. You know, and like I said, the first day, you know, they had a very good first day in the beginning of the Senior League, but, you know, they fell off really quickly. By the time the team started to adapt, you know, to each other's playing patterns and positions, you know, the guys from Solo just unfortunately didn't adapt in time. You know, our O3 brothers as well, you know, looking very comfortable in this position. They are in a very nice tight split, and they can all cover each other's bases. Beautiful play coming in from them. But then again, foul play, you know, in dangerous waters. They've been treading dangerous waters ever since. They've already lost Sharmut, they've lost LB, so now it's all left to PlayStation 5 and Low Wolf. Again, beautiful play from Lone Wolf there. Vector in hand, gets the first knock, and he might just get the second. Beautiful use of the utilities there. The utilities being his brain as he gets the next one. 2 eliminations to book right there for the guys from Fowlplay. Beautiful play from Lone Wolf as he gets the confirmation. Now Iceman is going to come and avenge his teammate. Bad Boy Teams is down on his luck. He's trying to get his health back up, but a beautiful grenade cooking from PlayStation 5, and he knows how to cook, and he cooks it yet again, but Lone Wolf is the one that's going to do it, and a beautiful spray again. Bad Boy Teams, the last one up for the guys from Vibe Gaming, and it's an unfortunate scenario for the guys from Vibe. Once again, they've been caught out. Foul play with just 2 players. They're about to do a 2 versus 4, more like a 1 versus 4, because it's all about Lone Wolf right now. He's lone wolfing the rest of the guys from Vibe. Bad Boy Teams, the last one left. Beautiful grenade starting to cook from Lone Wolf this time around. Might just connect. They know that he's behind that airdrop, and this might just be the trick, but no, it sails right past him. And again, Bad Boy Teams switches to something else. He tries to connect, might just do the trick this time around.
Somehow, unbelievable teams does manage to stay alive, but he does evade that Mully. But what a great gameplay coming in from Lone Wolf in that particular one. Leave it up to his name as he does get those eliminations. 3 eliminations onto the guys from Vibe Gaming, and obviously that's why the man calls himself the Lone Wolf, able to be really smart. I love the way he played that right there. Very deceiving as he was able to take out those 2 players from Vibe Gaming, you know, coming up from one end, getting the hip fire shots, and then moving towards the other corner. Really smart in the way he took on those fights. And you can see right now, Teams is basically just on the run away from the boys right there from foul play to get himself at least manage to get them some extra points.
You know, I mean, it's all boils down to, you know, what the final objective for these teams is going to be. You know, there's so much going on, you know, in Sanok. There's so many bodies around. You know, the guys from Fowlplay, look at them finally, you know, trying to rotate and make a way inside of the play zone there. But unfortunately, Griff is going to catch one of them. It's Lone Wolf this time around. He's been spotted, and he is going to be confirmed by the guys from O3. You can see them. They're pulling off from the north there, just trying to find a little bit of an angle inside of the play zone. Rag and Bone is still knocked. You know, First Arctics are in trouble as well as PlayStation 5 as he pulls up to whatever he says he pulled up. He is going to be spotted and sent back into the lobby. But Icy Skies does a fantastic job of getting an elimination, you know, for the guys from First Tactics as they catch the last player for Invictus there, and I believe, or one of the players for Invictus rather, sends him back into the lobby. And again, O3 still charging up with 4 eliminations and counting. And again, they've lost no player. That is the beauty in O3. It is so difficult for them to be eliminated. You know, they know how to survive for the longest of times. Rogue Baby is trying to pull inside from the south there, and again trying to get an angle on Skrillex. Beautiful use of the terrain there, but the play zone is not working too fast. The moment you decide to play through, you do your best, but Peachy is going to be spotted and dropped immediately. Unfortunate scenes for the guys from Afro eSports as they lose their top fragger, but again, they have a beautiful position inside of the play zone, just north of that position. O3 brothers still trying to keep the guys, all of these teams, they're trying to clear their backs, trying to keep the rest of these teams at bay.
Man, what a time right here. But now turning the sights onto the boys from Active Gaming, you can see Hope, who is pretty much just like that lone soldier, lone ranger, coming up right there against the boys from Goth eSports. He has one of them currently knocked down, but Yul and I is not too far away right there. So you can see the nades currently just going out. And now, will the boys from Active Gaming be pulling up onto this one? Remember, they're currently with just a 2-man squad. You can see Hope just pulling up right there. He doesn't have Skinny close to him, but can he get this? If he can, then he can take out the boys from Goth eSports right here. But Priest is not looking for Goth. They do need the performances. They do need to continue to boost themselves up. But Active Gaming, who are currently sitting down with a 2-man squad, getting themselves some needed extra points right there.
Ooh, fantastic play from Active Gaming there. Skinny is trying to skin these guys alive, but that's a beautiful grenade from Nexus. Once again, O3 brothers starting to cook, and the food just is done right now because another confirmation comes through. Asimi, unfortunately, another victim of that grenade from Nexus, and another grenade sends right back, but then that grenade is going to do more harm than good from Skies there, as he does help the guys from O3 get the confirmation. And again, Skies is going to hop right back there, get on his belly and roll away from the ops right now, but O3 are not going to let this one slide. They're charging in. He's trying his best. He sends a couple of shots. The drop shot tries again, but it's not going to work. He's tagged down. Too many enemies swarming. O3 once again cooking. Another player from the guys from First Arctic, sending them back into the lobby. 9 eliminations from O3. They've already lost Skrillex, and Nexus is down to about 20 HP, but he does manage to get his health back up. 10 eliminations, double-digit numbers for O3 again. They've started to run away with a fire. They've started to do that thing that they know how to do.
O3 putting in the work right there, getting those eliminations after eliminations. And we're seeing the boys from O3 as well as the boys from Afro eSports continuing on with their onslaught so far here. Right now, we do see the boys from Active Gaming not too far away from that player right there from Extreme. And look at that, he might just be the problem right there for Hope. But Hope spots him just in time to evade his shots and just go into cover quite quickly.
Ooh, I do love the reflexes, coming in from Hope right there. He has to be one of the most fantastic players I've been able to see. But now again, O3 and the guys from Active, they are going to coincide very, very soon. It looks like an opportunity, for the guys from Active to get inside of the play zone. Hope is still edge of the circle there. And the moment O3 start to fire their bullets, that the guys from Active will be hearing them. Hope has been spotted for sure, and he is going to be confirmed and sent back into the lobby. 11 eliminations for the guys from O3. Reels, the victor this time around, and Hope is going to be the victim. The grenade already starting to come outside by Reels there. He wants to take the 1v1. He blinds him from the left-hand side and he chooses the right, but Skinny's a beautiful play from Skinny. Fantastic CQC ability there, and he tries again, but it's not going to work. Ooh, it is Apex, the one from Goth eSports, that's going to be the thorn in the side for the guys from Active Gaming, sending them out there in 4th place. Fantastic play from Apex there, and now it's the opportunity for him to do something fantastic. He has the ghillie suit. All he has to do is keep it on him at all times, and he might just be able to go home with something here, Fire.
Man, absolutely. He is being that Trojan horse right there in that particular game, taking out the boys from Active Gaming. He can actually do some damage onto several different teams right here. He can cause the boys from Afro some trouble, even the boys from O3, as they do try to rotate towards that central position. But it's looking like it's an O3 game. They're looking quite strong in this one. They have pretty much just got it covered. The other player from Afro, it's far outside the zone. If he does try to come in, it will be really tough. I do believe he's on some healing strats. I'm not sure what Hunter is currently doing, but it is a 3v1v1 situation where it has got Hap versus 3 of the players right there from O3. He can cause some trouble, but he's not got the zone to work with. So it's really looking like it's an O3 game.
Ooh. Fantastic spray from Griff there. Might just do the trick this time around, but Reels is the one that's going to spot him. And they are going to send him back into the lobby. I don't know how, but Afro Esports are here once again, surviving. I don't know where the last player for Afro Esports is. Oh, Hunter, here he is. He's been spotted surely this time around. And all the guys from O3 have to do is just look to their left, and they will see him very, very soon. He's been spotted immediately, and he is going to be sent back into the lobby. Fantastic play from the guys from O3. Now that is the definition of domination. 2-2 clean, 13 eliminations, and a chicken dinner to boot after the fantastic game they already had in the first one. I mean, this says a lot, you know. O3 brothers for the win. Chicken dinner in hand, double-digit eliminations. This is what you want. If you're O3, this is what you want. But we've been having fun today, guys. I think we've been having fun today. You know, there's a whole lot going on today. You know, O3 brothers active Afro, O3 brothers active Afro, first Arctics. You know, I keep seeing those teams every single time. This team here, that team there. You keep seeing the same thing. You see this a little bit there. You see this a little bit here. But then again, the top 2 teams, they are starting to run away with it. Fire. Yeah. You have Afro Esports and O3 trying to run away with it, but Active isn't letting them.
Yeah. The boys, it does seem like we're starting to notice the 3 teams who are sort of like, you know, gearing up for that top 3 who are going to qualify out of the lobby. It is Afro Esports, you know, O3 and Active Gaming who are continuing with the consistency. You can see that in the amount of eliminations that they're having. Even Active Gaming lost about 2 players early on, but they still managed to get themselves 6 eliminations and get themselves into that top 5 spot. They finished that game in 4th. Goth Esports, who had turned in their sight, also still pushing up right there, but they didn't have quite a good first game. So we'll see how it continues to build up.
Yeah, you know, O3 with a fantastic performance, you know, yet again. Reels is the MVP, and he did manage to get about 5 eliminations to boot right there. He was a fantastic and phenomenal player, you know, in regards to getting that chicken dinner for the guys from O3. You know, they did squeeze out double-digit eliminations this time around once again, and you know, they played, like I said, they had a very, very good split, a very, very tight-knit split. You know, it is very, very difficult to eliminate O3 brothers, especially when they are a complete team. It is so hard to deal with them. You know, Active Gaming coming in clutch there with 6 eliminations, even though they had 2 players in. I remember, you know, the first engagement that they had, I think it was against the guys from Most Wanted, you know, when Sleepless was put to sleep, but you know, that was not the end. Active Gaming, you have to give them props. They know how to survive. You know, they are their survival odds are so high. You know, it is so impressive to watch. You know, Afro Esports as well, with an equally high survival rate. They did it 2 times, you know, back to back, you know, and I'm loving the consistency coming in from these teams. You know, Invictus as well, you know, also showing up the numbers. You know, again, top 3 teams. Now we're looking at the top 3 teams. Who are going to be the top 3 teams? And Afro Esports and O3 are already showing, you know, their mettle. They're showing what they're worth, and Active Gaming is just creeping in as well.
Man, what a time for all of these guys. You know, it must be really tough, especially from the boys, you know, from Invictus, who are just still lurking around, and it's a very tough one for the entire lobby, because you're now seeing several guys like, you know, Afro, like O3, just become just putting that bit of, you know, extra gameplay, and it's actually really funny, because I was really expecting some other teams like, you know, First Actics, like Fowlplay, like Men of Blood, you know, even Most Wanted to put up like a huge fight in this one, but it just seems like there's just too much right now coming in from the boys from O3, coming in from the boys from Active, and as well as the boys from Afro in the lobby.
Yeah, and it says a lot, about these teams because you can see the distance there, between Afro Esports and the guys from O3. It is just a 2 point difference there with one chicken dinner apiece. Active Gaming just trailing in behind. You can see them trying to give a space between themselves and the rest of the lobby right there. Extreme Violence doing their absolute best to deal, but unfortunate, it's just an unfortunate scenario for them because they keep getting turned out, very, very early. But then that's just after they squeeze in a couple of survival points, to boot in there. But Disparaged, Habitual Gaming, and Vibe, are more on Disparaged actually because they finished very, very strongly in the junior league. Whatever they cooked in the junior league, it'd be like saying no be the same chef they cook them for senior league because it be like they don't change chef. Better go back to your old chef, Disparaged. Let's see some of that Disparaged action. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to see such violence. Habitual Gaming getting caught out again. Vibe Gaming looks like they want to do something, but they keep getting stopped out. Most Wanted again having a very, very struggle performance again. But O3 40 points in. Afro Esports 38 points in. These teams, all they need to do is clock the 70-point mark, and that will be a wrap. If they can do it today, big shout out to them because all it takes is 30 points now and O3 will be claiming that game. But big shout out to them, and Active Gaming as well. Now this time around, Active Gaming, if they can score the same points they did yesterday, by tomorrow, I'm pretty sure they will be catching themselves in that final. But ladies and gentlemen, Vikendi is up next, and we know what Vikendi tends to do: give us some weird special zone effect. So I'm looking forward to seeing how that is going to pan out for the rest of these teams, as this is the WAPL. Do not touch that dial as we head into a break. Yes, y'all. We are back again. It is the WAPL brought to you by 3 Crown Esports. And yes, again, we are here with Vikendi cooking up something interesting. It is still me, your boy here, Priest, and I'm still with my main man, Fire, just chilling on the side right there. Fire, how you feeling?
It's been a really, really crazy time. We've seen all of the teams just go absolutely wild. So let's see if they continue on with that onslaught. But somehow the boys from O3 and Afro are somehow running away with it, with Active Gaming just hot on their tails, and the rest of the teams are just playing catch up for now. So we'll see if that continues. If it's still a three, or should I say a 2-horse race with Active Gaming just slightly behind. So we'll see if that continues. But Vikendi is usually that map that, you know, Active Gaming does light up, and Mirama is usually that game that Afro does light up. So if other teams have got to step it up now, like if they are looking to perform quite well, this is where, you know, they should be stepping things up. If not, these guys are going to run away with it and qualify.
Yeah, that is for sure. Running away with it is the idea. I think most of these teams want to do it on day one, because I think they've taken a page out of Royal Academy's book, you know, do so good on the first day that you don't have to necessarily worry about the next day. Although that is not advice. That is not financial advice, so I'm not telling anybody to try that, because this lobby is different. It is so different, you know. But then Active Gaming, they need to do better. They need, you know, that game that's going to separate them from the rest of the lobby and turn it into a 3-team race, you know, because I feel that is what this is starting to look like, a 3-team race, you know, with Active Gaming lagging behind Afro Esports and O3 Brothers. But then again, Active Gaming also separating themselves from the rest of the lobby. So all they have to do is create a niche for themselves, and I think they should be able to do it in Vikendi, because I've seen them perform. The success rate of Active Gaming in Vikendi so far is 97%. In all of the Vikendi games, they have performed 97% more than every other team. So I am looking forward to seeing them maintain that. If they can do that again, and I really see them maintaining that top 3 spot.
Yeah, definitely. They have managed to grab points, you know, from the game. Even with just one man, they had a situation where they were left to just skinny, and they still got up to that, you know, top 2 position. So they always know how to grab those extra bits of points here and there on the map. But we'll see how that one goes, as the zone currently is situated around that northern region. So we'll see what happens right there. But on ground is the boys from Active Gaming, and I do believe the boys from Habitual, and they might be getting into a little skirmish right about now. Okay, it's actually Disparaged and Habitual.
You know, now that is going to be a very interesting, you know, engagement to watch. Both of those teams are dwindling at the bottom of the leaderboard, so hopefully, you know, something is going to work out for them. But Henro is going to get the first elimination there on Disparaged, and it is Dishonest that's going to be the first one to go down. Habitual Gaming getting the first elimination there with and now they are leading, you know, the charts with 1 elimination to boot right there. Disparaged, unfortunately, once again getting caught out. And again, you know, I don't know if these teams have practiced any sort of, you know, landings or rotations or something prior to today, you know, because Disparaged have continued to land with teams time and time again. 3 out of 3 games, the guys from Disparaged, you know, have gotten called out early in the game. I'm not an advocate for this. I have never been an advocate of landing on teams, you know, except when it is dire, you know, when it is necessary. Land on a team that you know you can, you know, at least get 2 eliminations from, you know, right out the gate.
Yeah, definitely. I don't even think that there's any pushover when it comes to, you know, landing on teams in the map right now. Everyone is on point when it comes to holding their own in defensive spots. So for me, the best decision is, you know, just get as much loot as you can first of all, and prepare as much as you can for fights before you then begin to engage. Because sometimes no matter how great you are, if you're landing with teams and the other guy gets himself, like, you know, a DBS and you're chilling with a pistol, there's nothing you can do regardless of how OP you are. You're gonna get taken down. But now turning our sights onto the boys from MOP, as they do get get taken out by one of the players. Flowed right there from Solo Esports. Solo Esports, another team that does need to step it up right here. There's a lot of expectation for them when it comes to how they perform, but they've not been able to live up to those performances. They somehow does scrape through and qualified into this particular senior league, but we'll see how it actually goes for them, as they've got one elimination now. Are they going to make that push onto that location? But they're in a three-way fight, so let's see how it goes.
Well, Port Vosto is looking very caked up. Afro Esports is in the mix. They are somewhere around there. So the guys from Men of Blood have to be very careful. They are closer to Afro Esports than they are to the guys from Solo Esports. Afro Esports already making away from that position. But knowing them, they do want the smoke. They do want eliminations. So they are going to be circling back very soon to deal with those two teams there. But now is the opportunity, for the guys from Solo Esports to finish what they started and see if they can, squeeze out 4 eliminations from the guys from Men of Blood.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so let's talk about the boys from Afro. We can see Peachy just looking around right now. I do believe right now they are in famine mode, and that's been working for them. They've probably had a couple of shots. They're looking for where, they can get 1 or 2 kills. And what would you say about that, Priest? Is the goal for a lot of these teams just look around, look for where you can get those 1, 2, 3 kills? Is that what they're doing? They've been doing so far?
I mean, when Vikendi, so the playstyle in Vikendi is significantly very, very different, from the rest of the other maps here. Afro Esports still maintain the same style of play that they've always maintained. That is the terrain play. You can see, Peachy is not in a building. He's in an area. They are holding a geographical position. They play the map in zones and in terrains, rather than other teams. But that's a beautiful shot there from Peachy. Sent a couple of bullets there towards Indians. Might just confirm him again. A couple of shots again, sending bullets towards the guy from Solo Esports. And knowing the guys from Afro Esports, this might just be the opportunity for them to crash that compound. But fortunately for them, it's not going to work out. Nice touch again from Peachy, as I believe that is Mighty, as he tries his best to help his teammate there. But then again, Afro Esports, they are very, very fantastic when it comes to playing, the terrain. But then Men of Blood is also in the mix, so that is why they are still maintaining distance. They do not want to get caught out in a kind of like a sandwich position, between Men of Blood and Solo Esports, and Solo Esports is still a 4-man team, so they do have to find a little bit of a position they want to attack them from. They've dealt some damage, towards Mighty and Floyd there, so they might just need a little bit more confirmation or a little bit more damage dealt towards either Men of Blood or Solo Esports to confirm the angle they want to, enter this area from.
Man, what a time for all of these teams. And one of the things that I love about the qualification so far is that every single team has to grind it out to find themselves in that finals, which is going to make it for a very, very, very heated finale that's going to come through in the WAPL. But this game so far is still looking quite tough. One of the things that I love and hate about Vikendi is that there are just so many buildings. It can lead us all the way towards stage 8 with several different teams just holding defensive positions. It's great for defensive teams, especially a team like Active Gaming that loves to, play buildings and hold their position. It can work quite well for them. But for a lot of teams that love to explore different terrains, it may actually not work well for them. But let's see how that one continues to progress, as there's a lot of regions around Cosmodrome that's currently free. But now turn our sights onto the boys from Hatch and Extreme. You can see them going absolutely wild. Choco almost getting taken down by the support coming right there from Toe Reed, and things are now beginning to get a little bit dangerous, as the boys from Extreme are currently sitting down with 3 kills.
Ooh, Team Extreme there, catching a plethora of eliminations, They have 3 eliminations to boot, and Torrid has been spotted. That's a beautiful spray from Choco there, and Choco knows for sure that Torrid is down to about 1 HP. This might just be the trick, an opportunity for him to confirm, and yes, Sean is going to be the one to do it, and fantastic play coming in. Harsh Esports once again going out extremely early with no elimination, so they are going to still continue to sit at the bottom of the leaderboard there, and that is not what you want at all. But I see some bullets, I see something happening right there, and it is Invictus pulling up to the scene as well. But Extreme is another team that knows how to defend positions, and they know how to keep themselves at bay. All the violence that we've seen the guys from Extreme perform, it is very, very untoward. It is very, very due for them. But Choco again continues to peek outside, and a couple of shots are going to be sent his way. Invictus do know how to press forward an advantage, and they do know how to hold positions and split. But again, the guys from Team Extreme use the use of cover from them is absolutely brilliant. They know how to hold the covers out, and they are going to be moving away from that position. Invictus will just have to try another way.
Blossom Invictus sniffing for that 1-1-1 elimination that's going to try as much as possible to take them into a great spot where they can push onto the boys right there from Extremists. And it's not looking quite good for the boys from Extremists, as they are currently, you know, in a position where it seemed that they were going to get a knock onto one of the boys from Invictus, but they did not. They were looking quite like they were on that move, but right now they have to leave that position where they are at and try to somehow just retreat. They can still move towards the regions around Coleman and Goroka, but there's also still the boys from Fowlplay and Vibe Gaming around those regions. So as you were seeing the map right now, we're still in stage 1, and you know there's a lot of buildings for those teams to work with. Everyone's now beginning to hop into the vehicles and make those rotations, so we'll see how this one is going to build out for a lot of these things. But just taking a look at the map right now, Paris, who do you think, you know, is holding the best position? Would you rather, you know, in the map like this, be holding that central spot, or would you pretty much be edging it out like the boys from Active Gaming and Habitual are currently doing?
You know, I mean, the Vikendi play zone is so tricky. It is very, very unpredictable, you know. But then again, I would congratulate, or rather give kudos to the guys from No Rage. They are in a northern position. You know, they have a lot of area between them, you know, to play from. And they look like they're going to have, you know, a whole lot of information, because, you know, it is all about intel and what you can do with it. But the first things first is you have to get the intel. Then you have to decide what you're going to do with said intel. So now the guys from No Rage, you know, that northern area that they have is looking very, very good for them, you know. But the bullets are starting to ring outside towards the guys from Habitual Gaming as they drive through Most Wanted. There, they've been spotted, but I think they are going to be just fine as they have a little bit of a compound to play from. But Lilith is going to not move to that position, and a couple of beautiful spray coming in from Magic there all the way across. That had to be at least 300 meters, and the spray is perfect. It does connect, but again, he is going to pay with his teammates. Creed is the one that goes down this time around, and there is no safety for Creed, as another player of the guys from Men of Blood is going to be eliminated by Solo Esports. And now Solo know for a fact that Mob have been cut down to 2 players, Fatboy and Wandofi, trying to escape from that dangerous position. The guys from Most Wanted have not been having the best of days so far, but fortunately for them, they are going to escape by the skin of their teeth. But fantastic play coming in from Solo Esports to squeeze out 2 eliminations, you know, from the guys from Men of Blood.
And what a time right there. Several of these teams are currently getting dealt with. There's a lot of hurt at several different spots, but we've not still seen more than 2 teams getting taken out of the game. This is just Hash, who has been lobbied. 2 players from Disparaged have been taken out. The boys from MOB are currently in now with just a 2-man squad right now, and that pretty much is it. So everyone's just gearing up right now for what is going to be that next stage of the zone. They're about to move into that stage 2. And it is still a map that's moving towards that northern region. Villa, Mount Kresnik, Coal Mine, Zabava, Goroka are still within the zone. We might be seeing a fight coming down between the boys from Extremist and I do believe Goth Esport. These are 2 teams that do need points, so we'll see how that one actually does play out for them, as they're currently within the same vicinity.
You know, that vicinity that they are in, though, you know, is looking very, very chunky. It is a good spot to hold, but then for how long, you know, the play zone could shift at any given time. It could move away from that position, you know, in general. And again, it's going to force these teams to make plays that they do not want to. And that is the difficulty that comes with playing the Vikendi map. You know, it is very, very tricky. But Solo Esports, unfortunately, they've been squeezed outside of the play zone, and they are going to be heading north towards the guys from Most Wanted. But they have a lot of terrain to play from. They have a lot of cover, you know, areas to play from. They can't get into that place without having to expose too much of their plays. You know, they can have a little bit of an idea of how they want to navigate. You know, you can see in Diags just holding in from the left-hand side there. You know, Doctor finally makes it inside of the play zone. Now, the guys from Solo Esports, you know, all this trekking that they're doing is not advisable at all. I would never advise this. You need to be in a vehicle at this point. You cannot be running around. It is so easy to be, you know, spotted, and bullets can be sent in your general direction if you do not move in the vehicle. But I think that is the general idea for him there, you know. I mean, Fire, would you not have a vehicle right now? I mean, would you not rather have a vehicle right now if you're trying to move around?
Yeah, I would rather have a vehicle, especially in a tough, intense game like this. You don't want to get caught off guard and, you know, be taken out by several different teams. You can see the boys from 03 just lurking around, not too far away from them. And if they do spot you, they can easily get you down. These players are not joking. They do have, you know, definitely several different angles. So I would obviously be really, really scared, you know, just lurking around without a vehicle, you know, close to some of these monsters.
Yeah, you know, I mean, lurking is the right word. But then the guys from No Rage, they've moved a little bit towards the eastern side there. I really hope they would have maintained that northern position. But, you know, again, Goth eSports and Extreme, just like you called it, looks like the engagement is starting to cook finally. But Ronnie doesn't want any of that violence just yet. He wants to take the fight towards the guys from Goth eSports just before they pull up and get the cover fire. And again, beautiful play coming in from Goth eSports there as they eliminate yet another Starboy, the one, senior boy actually, the one to go down. And now Choco goes down next. Sean trying to find an angle, trying to keep the rest of his teammates up, and Adam. But again, the guy from Goth circling around like sharks. Ronnie trying his best. He pops a grenade outside, but is he going to connect? Unfortunately, he doesn't. It does a little bit of damage, but not enough to repel the guy from Goth eSports. The top hand side of the compound there that Ronnie's trying to pay homage to. It's not working out so well for him though. He's trying to keep the rest of the guys from Goth at bay, but Ziggy running circles around him like this is a merry-go-round or like a carousel. I'm not sure, but Sean again trying his best to keep them at bay. He has 3 eliminations, so you know for a fact that Sean wants all the smoke. He wants all the violence. Choco has been sent back into the lobby. Goth eSports trying to use that numbers advantage to squeeze the guys from Team Extreme back into the lobby, but now they have 4 eliminations still. Goth eSports still cooking around trying to get some eliminations for themselves, but then again you can see they are trying to confuse the guys from Team Extreme. Senior boy is still bleeding out, and Hape sends a couple of shots again towards Sean, catches him up, sends him down to about 50 HP. Eulenia pulls up to the scene, cooking something interesting there. It might just be a Molotov or a grenade, but Ronnie again has been spotted. Beautiful grenade from Sean, but he doesn't cook it to perfection. He's going to be dropped again, and a beautiful grenade comes right inside, drops him to his knees, and it's all left to Ronnie now. Ronnie is down to about 10 HP, but finally gets his health up. He's burning the grenade, he's burning the staircase just to keep the guys from Goth eSports at bay. Extreme in danger right now, but again his teammate makes that mistake of moving out of that dodge, moving out of position. He's not going to be revived, that is for sure. It's all left to Ronnie there. Is he going to take the 1 versus 3? Another grenade comes in, gets the confirmation, finally sets one of the guys from Goth eSports ablaze. I believe that is Ziggy. Ziggy's down to about a couple of HP, but he manages to get out of dodge to save himself. Ronnie again, Molotov after Molotov. This guy is an arsonist. He has to be an arsonist because all these Molotovs, but the grenade is much more powerful. The pen is mightier than the sword, as the guy from Team Extreme have been sent back into the lobby.
Man, what a time coming on right there. You rarely see, you know, early performances in this coordination coming in from Goth so far in the senior league. We saw a lot of great performances from them in the junior league, but in the senior league, it's not quite been that way for them. But right now, turning our sights onto the lobby so far, the boys from 03 have got themselves 4 kills, as well as the boys from Active Gaming, who are also getting into a skirmish with the boys right there from Most Wanted. It's a really tough one going on right there, as we do see one of the players right there from Most Wanted getting gunned down, and it is really tough as it is knock after knock going on in every single position. So the players from Active Gaming are currently, well, one of the players from Active Gaming is currently knocked down, as well as 2 of the players right there from Most Wanted. So it's really tough. We'll see how this one continues to play out.
Active Gaming doing a fantastic job. You can see what Anes did there. He actually pulled up to that scenario there to assist his teammates instead of getting that confirmation. Now that is a fantastic play. That is what you call teamwork. You know, Anes doing a fantastic job, but then Molotov is going to be the trick right there. Is going to do exactly what you need it to do. Is doing a fantastic job so far, but Most Wanted are in a serious bundle right here. Fatboy is north of that position, trying to get the guys, you know, his teammates, you know, Lillis just trying to keep him at bay, trying to help him, but the grenade is what's going to go out next. Again, Active Gaming are in serious trouble. Grenade after grenade, one after the other. He's trying to catch him off guard. He's doing a fantastic job so far, though. But Active Gaming have the right-hand side covered. Now they're trying to swarm him. 3 versus 1. Hope leading the charge with the LMG in front, and Anes trying to rotate from the right-hand side. Skinny to the left, and again Hope tries again. Beautiful grenade, might just do the trick, but it's not going to work. Again he tries, left-hand side, but Skinny's there. Cuts him down to about 10 HP, and that should be the end for Lilith. And Most Wanted going out there in 11th place, courtesy of Active Gaming.
Well, definitely, if you do want to be climbing up on that leaderboard, we spoke about it. This is what you need to be doing, taking on team after team and getting those eliminations. And that's exactly what the boys from Active Gaming are pulling up right here, as they're currently sitting down with, what I do believe is 8 eliminations to the name. We currently got about 10 teams who will be looking forward to getting home that winner chicken dinner, snatching away this game. And it has been violence and violence at several different corners, as teams are now gearing up for what is going to be an absolutely great game as we're moving into that stage 5. Several teams that have been taken out of the game so far: Most Wanted, Hash, Extreme, Vibe Gaming, Rage, and Solo have currently been sent packing out of the game. The boys from O3 Brothers are currently sitting down with 4 kills to their name. But now let's turn our sights onto the boys from Afro, who have 2 players currently down.
Ooh, Invictus doing a fantastic job of keeping the guys from Afro Esports at bay. And here comes Titan trying his absolute best to deal damage to Hunter there. Finally gets him down, and he is going to confirm him surely. Afro Esports, I think that is going to be wraps for them. They've been sent back into the lobby by Team Invictus, and now Invictus have sent the #1 team in the lobby back into the lobby. Here we go, Fire. This is the thing we talked about. Afro Esports starting to fall short. I think they were able to get a couple of eliminations, but here is still O3 Brothers with 5 and counting. O3 Brothers trying to lead the pack, give the gap. Active Gaming is still somewhere around there surviving, increasing their points, increasing the odds for them to make it into the finals.
Man, what a time for all of these guys. You know, the rest of the players within the lobby are now beginning to fight back, because Invictus is one of those teams we talk about them, right? They had the opportunity to qualify, you know, some few days back, but they weren't able to put up those performances and continue to move themselves up. So now they are looking to see if they can take out a couple of those players like Afro Esports, who's currently sitting down all the way on top of the leaderboard today. So we'll see how that one continues to play out. They've got themselves a few eliminations here and there. O3 currently edging it, not so far away from Invictus. We might see a skirmish between the two, but my goodness, what a game that we've seen so far in the lobby.
Interesting scenes, you know, coming in from Invictus. I mean, that has to be, you know, a feather in their cap, the way they just eliminated guys from Afro Esports. But then again, you know, Afro Esports did get caught out in a building, and they are not the best at defending buildings. They know how to defend terrains, they know how to defend positions, but when it comes to defending buildings from assault, you know, especially against a team like Invictus that knows how to, you know, crash into buildings and take positions, especially with the use of utilities there, you just have to be careful. And Afro Esports were just not careful enough. They'd be sent back into the lobby, and unfortunately here once again it is Briggs, the last player out for Disparaged. These guys have been fighting demons all day, and it's just an unfortunate scenario for them, because the demons just keep on winning, you know. And they're just so unlucky so far, you know. I mean, for them to make it into the senior league, you know, it says a lot about them. But then after what I've seen today, I'm not sure, you know, there's anything left to say, you know, about the guys from Disparaged. You know, I don't think they've made any single point, you know, so far. I don't know how I feel about them. I don't know what the strategy is. I'm not so sure. I mean, I'm looking forward to more, but, you know, Goth Esports is even doing significantly better, you know, than them. And I didn't even put them in the same category going into today's games.
Yeah, absolutely. Goth Esports, you know, who's doing significantly better. We're not in the conversation, but you can see them continuing on with the onslaught so far. Now sitting down in that central position around Coal Mine is the boys from Active Gaming, not too far away from O3. You can see the shots, you know, just being let loose onto the boys from O3. But several different teams are sending shots flying their way. It's also the boys from MOB. We talked about this, right? Sometimes when you pull up to the center, it now means that you are now now the center of attraction, and that's exactly what happened to the boys from Active Gaming right there, as Hope got knocked down. But luckily for him, his teammates were able to get that revive. But now things are beginning to get really tough and choked up, as the boys from Habitual are also in that conversation. Fowlplay is still in it. Invictus, who took out the boys from Afro early on, sitting down with 4 kills, are also in the mix of things right here, not too far away from Afro eSports. And we'll see who actually does come out on top, as we still got about 9 teams and 26 bodies in this particular one, as we are heading all the way into that 6th stage.
You know, it's all about, you know, defense and offense at this stage. You know, if you do not have a compound to defend, you have to find a compound to snatch, you know, from someone. And Active Gaming are going to do their best very soon, because the play zone is not necessarily favorable. There's too many bodies inside of the play zone right now. Speaking of bodies, Eulenia does catch one of the guys from Active Gaming. You know, might just send Hope back again into the lobby. But again, Spots from Rag and Bone, finally Sports General drops him down immediately there. That's the beauty of the Glacier M416, as Rag and Bone tries again to peek outside, but Help is there, sends a couple of shots in the general direction, but fantastic use of the grenade there. Might just do the trick, might just get a knock, but unfortunately it doesn't do the trick. It doesn't do much of anything actually, but the guys from First Arctic are trying their best to keep a defensive position, and this is what I love about Vikendi. It pays those who knows how to defend. If you do not know how to defend, your building or that position will be snatched away from you. General still knocked all the way down. Goth eSports finally trying to get that revive. Ziggy pulls up to the sea, but that's the danger, you know, of getting your teammate knocked. The play style is going to change, because I think General was the one that was going to play behind, you know, and Ziggy was going to play alongside Hape and Eulenia on the left hand side, but Ziggy has to fall all the way back now to get that revive. But this gives, you know, First Arctics the opportunity to wrap around and get another angle. But fortunately for them, they have play zone, so they do not necessarily need to extend too far, as that's me again, spots Ziggy there. And that is the beauty of what I'm talking about, you know, defensive positions. You know, the guys from First Arctics not giving away too much, but not giving away too little as well. Beautiful position that they're having so far, and hopefully I think they can maintain it, at least for the time being.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. We've still got about 9 teams in this one, and it is looking quite tough for a lot of players. But Goth eSports sitting now with a full squad in this one, and they got themselves 6 eliminations, are looking like they might just be that team to edge it through in this particular game. They're currently holding an edge within that zone. They have sights onto several different teams, and that may just work out for them. But the boys from Invictus, who took out the first team when it comes to that leaderboard, and now turning the sights onto the team who are currently on 2nd place. They turn the sights onto the boys from 03, and if they can take out the boys from 03, it then opens up the entire leaderboard for a new conversation of teams who might be looking to move all the way up into that spot.
Yeah, you know, there's so many discrepancies when it comes to this kind of zone and this kind of game, where the top teams, you know, have already been eliminated. 03 losing yet another player. This time it's going to be Nexus. Invictus still dealing damage to the top teams in the lobby. They just caught out the guys from Afro eSports, and they managed again to catch a couple of players from the guys from 03 as well. Reels is prone on the ground. They're trying to find a little bit of a position to play from, trying to work away inside of the play zone. In Pintua is still coming inside, just trying to keep the guys from Habitual Gaming far away. Beautiful play coming in from that position. Their Active Gaming is still trying their best. They've been squeezing and suffering so far, but somehow they've managed to squeeze out 8 eliminations, and they're looking for more. Play zone has shifted just a little bit towards the western side, and I think the person who gets into that play zone first is going to do the bulk of the damage to the rest of these teams.
Man, it is really tough for a lot of these guys. You can see them trying to evade the attention with the boys right there from MOB getting taken out, as Nes is getting another elimination. Finally, we're now down to 8 teams right here in the lobby. Goth eSports have still managed to hold a full squad. It is really tough for a lot of these guys to keep their teams alive in this particular one. I do believe it is just Goth eSports and the boys from Habitual who are currently sitting down with a 4-man squad. Everybody else has got either 2 players or 3 players right there in the lobby. Goth eSports currently sitting down with 6 kills, are now looking towards getting into that center. It is only the guys right there from First Actics who are currently situated with an edge of that zone, and it's really tough for a lot of these guys as shots are being let loose between the boys from Active Gaming and Goth eSports. Habitual are also coming in this conversation with the boys from Active Gaming, who are currently sitting down with only 2 players, so it's a 2v4 situation between those guys, and it's tough at every single corner.
Yeah, every single corner. is being, assimilated by these teams. You can tell, it has been a battle from the beginning, all the way from Habitual Gaming's entry to Active Gaming's entry as well, and all of these teams trying to find an angle inside of the play zone. It's so tricky though, because First Arctics have found their way inside of that zone as well, but unfortunately for them, they have no eliminations. Now O3 trying their best to deal damage to the rest of these teams from Invictus, trying their way to find inside. Ooh, beautiful play from Griff there, gets the first knock onto the guys from Invictus. Rogue Baby trying to survive. Invictus trying again. Pintua is the one that's going to be spotted this time around, but Reels has been dropped down, and Reels is going to succumb to the play zone. Fortunately, PlayStation 5 is the one that's going to steal a couple of damage points away from the guys from O3, and again, they catch O3 by the tail and send them back into the lobby. Beautiful play from Fowlplay. Now this might just be the game for them. Disparaged is also here. Somehow they've been surviving. Active Gaming finally spotted, sent out there in 6th place, but somehow they managed to get 9 eliminations, and that is a fantastic game for them. They continue to add the numbers, they continue to add these points. Habitual Gaming as well, trying their best to deal inside, but Goth Esports dealing so much damage. The play zone is going to be claiming them. Play zone up to 5KD at this point, the way it's been claiming souls left, right, and center. First Arctic still dealing damage, still playing the defensive game, but that is the danger of the defense. There is no offense, no eliminations. Fowlplay is in a better position to get the offense points against the guys from First Arctic if the play zone continues to shift in this direction.
Man, absolutely amazing stuff coming in from all of these teams. You can now begin to see the other guys, such as Goth Esports, fighting it out to grab that winner chicken dinner so far. The boys from Fowlplay, who are currently sitting now with 8 kills as well in the conversation, but Goth Esports have the numbers. It's just all down to very little tiny margins on decisions making right there. They do have a good position within that zone. They just got to wait. They just got to wait for the rest of the teams to come out of their hiding and begin to take them out. You can see Gulnai has a position. He might just spot the other team. One of the players does go down, but they got to keep it calm. They might still be able to get that revive and seal this game through.
Ooh, the guys from First Arctics have been playing so defensively and so far, and this is not how you want to play, especially when it comes to this point system. It's so unfortunate, but Fowlplay with a fantastic play. PlayStation 5, the one to pop outside this time around. He tries his best. 1 versus 1 scenario against Apex. There's just a couple of shots in his general direction. He fakes to the left and to the right, but he tries his best. He is going to be confirmed and sent back into the lobby. Fowlplay eliminated. 12 eliminations for the guys from Goth Esports, finally clutching that top spot. And now the guys from team First Arctics deciding to pull up to the scene, but Ziggy is still knocked. Now is the opportunity for First Arctics to make the right call to take the engagement. Asimi climbs the top. He finally catches Eulenia, drops him down to the ground, and now is the opportunity for the guys from First Arctics to take that chicken dinner. They have the numbers advantage. This is going to work in their favor. All they have to do is maintain the violence, but then again, they are a very defensive team so far. They're not getting too confident right here. Ziggy is still all the way down to about 1 HP, trying to get his health up. The moment he gets his health up, this might just be an even battle, but match pops again. He's going to be dropped down by Apex. Confirmation might just come through there. Asimi is still prone to the ground. Why are you still prone to the ground? Rag and Bone has been spotted. Might just be confirmed this time around. 2 go down. Goth Esports might just take this one away from the guys from First Arctics. It's an unfortunate scenario here. It's an unfortunate scenario for the guys from First Arctics. They've been cooking so far in that position, but then again, they've been defensive. No attack. Goth Esports have been attacking. 14 eliminations, and it's going to be 15 for sure. Rag and Bone moves to the left-hand side, gets the first knock on Ziggy, tries again from the right-hand side. He tries again, but Hape is there. Beautiful 1v1, and Goth Esports claim it. Chicken dinner in the bag with 15 eliminations. Now that is what I love to see.
Man, mad stuff right there coming in from Happers. He got himself 8 eliminations for his team. Lovely stuff going on right there. Absolutely amazing gameplay from all of these guys in this particular one.
Goth Esports, man, that is beauty at its finest. They were absolutely brilliant. I knew for a fact that once Ziggy got his health up, it was going to be a wrap, because First Arctics were defensive the entire time. So I just knew that they weren't going to make it in once they came down to it. Once it came down, to the fighting, to the pushing, to the 4 versus 4, 3 versus 2, 2 versus 3. It wasn't going to work out for them because mentally they were just not prepared. Apex is the MVP right now because you could tell from his performance, it was absolutely brilliant. Watching him and how he was able to handle cover fire for the rest of his team. I loved watching Goth Esports from that northern position. They continue continue to hold the rest of those teams. They continue to eliminate the teams. Even when they go into the path of the guys from Active Gaming 03, they didn't rest. They continued to deal damage. They did not play defensively. First Tactics, very, very good in compound defense, but again, they did not offend. They just continued defending that compound as long as it was inside of the play zone, and unfortunately, it didn't work out. Fowlplay as well did a fantastic job of squeezing some eliminations, as they were moving around. They got 9 eliminations. I think the same thing with Active Gaming. So, the leaderboard is starting to take form right now. A lot of these teams are still trying to squeeze in a couple of eliminations, a couple of points for themselves, but Goth eSports were just superior, and Fowlplay did a fantastic job of getting themselves at least, double digits in this game, significant points, significant jump, on the leaderboard table. And I'm looking forward to seeing, what the leaderboard is going to say very, very soon to give us a general idea of how these teams should be playing.
Man, Vikendi is that one game that does turn things on its head. As you can see, the boys from Goth eSports just overthrowing the entire lobby and just coming in with 15 eliminations right there. But you still got to give it to the boys from Active Gaming, as they do get 9 eliminations and do grab themselves a couple of points right there. So we'll see what that one actually means in the overall leaderboard as they continuing to grab those points. Remember, we spoke about this, right? It's not just about winning. Sometimes it's about, just continuing to grab those points, even in games that actually don't go your way. So those eliminations are going to count for them, as well as the boys from Fowlplay who got themselves, the same amount of eliminations.
Yeah, and it's interesting though, because the guys from Active Gaming, they did exactly what they needed to do. Fowlplay have finally put themselves on the map. Goth eSports equally putting themselves on the map as well. But Active Gaming, 03 Brothers, all of these teams, they did a fantastic job of holding it together. 03 Brothers still managing to squeeze out a couple of eliminations there. But now the game has started to turn on its head, because, Goth eSports have actually pulled themselves into that conversation with Active Gaming as well. Fowlplay, First Tactics, and Extreme Vawlence now have a little more work that they need to do. 03 and Afro eSports, I thought they were ready to run away with it, but then again, Vikendi is just going to throw a spanner in the works of whatever plans you have, and that is just an unfortunate scenario, for the guys from Afro eSports and 03 Brothers. Fortunately for them, they are not running away with anything just yet. They are just 10 points away. They are easily within reach for the rest of this team. Disparaged finally making some points, but still 0 eliminations, and Vibe Gaming still dwindling all the way down there. Most Wanted as well, Men of Blood as well. I mean, what do you think the strategy should be for these bottom tier teams? Is there something new that they should do? Because I see that, they're trying to stick to their strategy, but it's not working, so far. We're 3 games in. We're about to head into the final game of the night. What do you think, Vibe Gaming, Disparaged, Most Wanted, and Men of Blood should do differently?
The more there's a gap right there in the lobby, the more things begin to look like it's impossible. Because if they can't finish the first day with at least 20 points, then moving on to trying to qualify might be just impossible. Remember, we said it yesterday. If you want to make sure that you're qualifying, you need to be really close to about 70 points, to make it through onto the next stage. I think 60 points may be enough, but some of these teams have got to be getting out with at least 20 points. Because if you're not doing that, then you're coming back tomorrow and say, hey, look, I need to get 30 points. Like, trying to get 60 points tomorrow is going to be almost impossible, because you need to win a game with like 30 points and win the next game with 30 points again. And how many times do you see teams do that? Even if you would have to get 20 kills and a winner chicken dinner to make that happen. So yeah, they need to be grabbing those points today. If not, guys like Goth eSports, Active Gaming, Fear, and as well as 03 Brothers are the teams that will most likely be looking to see qualify from this phase.
Exactly, and it all comes down to the plan. If you have the plan and then you execute the plan. So all of these teams have to find that plan that's going to work out for them to get them into that finals. So far, 03 have the plan in check and they have been executing it perfectly. But ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be heading for a little bit of a break right now, and by the time we come back, we will bring you Miramar, our final game of the night. Stay tuned and do not touch that dial.
Hey, what's up? So welcome. We back. We're ready to go. Priest, I can't hear you.
Yes, we're back actually. Yeah. We're back. And I think I saw a glimpse of the strategy board for a couple of these teams. You know, O3 Brothers and the guys from Afro Esports for Miramar. Once again, they're cooking. You know, Afro Esports and Miramar working hand in hand. Unfortunately, you know, the rest of the teams have actually called up to them on that leaderboard, so it's looking more like a battle right now. You know, I thought Afro and O3 were ready to just take the baton and run into the finals with it straight out of the first couple of games, the first 2 games. But, you know, the guys from Goth Esports just pulled up to the scene and they've taken something, you know, with them as well. Active Gaming still in the mix. Fowlplay finally showing their worth. You know, so yes, there's a plan here and I think it's starting to work.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, because one thing we're talking about before today's game was like how many points do you need overall to qualify, and I do believe it's within the regions about 70 to, you know, like really close to 70, and then you're sure your qualification. So if you're looking to come in tomorrow to do well, you obviously will be telling yourself, hey, if I can get myself 40 points in the first day, minimum 40 points in the first day, then coming in the second day grabbing 30 points is not really out of reach. You know, all you need to do is have really average games throughout, and then, you know, maybe one good game. In fact, if you take 40 points from today and you get one chicken dinner tomorrow, then you know, one bad game with like 5 kills, that may be enough.
Is it though? Is it going to be enough? You know, it is a top 3 finish, you know, and that would have been enough if O3 and Afro Esports were, you know, were already starting to run away with it. But that's not what's happening. That's not what's happening right now. You know, there's so many teams in the mix right now. Goth Esports to talk about. You know, Goth Esports, Fowlplay, Active Gaming, they are in the mix as well. You know, O3 is not even still safe. You know, they're still within reach. You have to be unreachable to qualify. Like Royal Academy, you know, the way Royal Academy finished yesterday, not yesterday, the first day actually, 2 nights ago, the way they finished unreachable. They finished with at least a 29-point differential. That was what they used, you know, to break through the rest of the games, because the other teams were just not doing those numbers. You know, all those other teams were just trying their best, you know, to capture how they were going to manage that leaderboard, you know, manage those points that they already got. You know, you just said it now, 70 points is the target. You know for a fact that if you can average 70 points in total, you should be fine. But then again, that only works if the rest of the teams in the lobby with you are not trying to do the exact same thing. You have to be slightly, you know, superior to the rest of those teams, and that is what the Sidizens, you know, showed us yesterday. And when they overtook the guys from Royal Academy, they were consistent across the board. They didn't have a single bad game. That is how you qualify, not having a single bad game.
Well, absolutely. Well, we'll take a look at the leaderboard after the games and see where everyone is currently positioned and see what that means going into tomorrow's game. Well, for the meantime, let's take a look at where several different teams are currently positioned. It does look like Fowlplay is in the mix right here in Picado, of course, always, you know, being absolutely stubborn, landing with the boys from Solo Esports right there, looking to get into a fight. They do this all the time, you know, just holding their spots. Is it because, you know, they feel like, you know, what, let's dominate? Or at this point in time, if you're in that position where, you know, it's crunch time, you know, you need those points to qualify, should you be getting into this, you know, situations where you might lose a couple of players?
Well, at this point, you know, Afro Fowlplay and the guys from Solo Esports, they've been doing this dance since the beginning of the senior league. You know, they've been constantly doing this dance. You know, and sometimes solo wins, sometimes Fowlplay wins. But so far, you know, Fowlplay have been leading, I believe, with one ahead of the other so far. So I think they've been continuing to keep that energy for themselves. But unfortunately for them, you know, the Vawlence is going to be running through that particular position for them if Solo Esports decides to get the upper hand this time around. You know, because it's all a matter of your strategy. Is your strategy going to work? Is the plane, are you going to jump from the plane from the west or from the east this time around? Which area of the map are you going to land on? Is it going to work? But if it doesn't work, what do you do next? And that is the constant, you know, battle the guys from Fowlplay and Solo Esports are going to be fighting themselves, as extremists as well have gotten caught out once again, and they've lost Choco, one of their strongest players.
Absolutely. Great stuff coming in from all of these teams, as we now see the boys from Extremists also losing one of their players. Also, we do see a fight coming in between the boys from Afro going up against the boys from Goth. Goth were the team who got that winner chicken dinner in the previous game, now getting into an early fight with the guys who were on top of the leaderboard not so long ago right there, who are gearing up for who is going to be qualifying onto the next stage. And right now we have a fight between two of the teams I do believe they're sitting down in second spot and third spot respectively, going toe-to-toe against each other. So this is a very crucial fight for the entire map and the entire lobby, because everyone will be looking towards this point and saying, hey, if these two guys, you know, weaken themselves, then it does mean there's still opportunities for other guys.
Ooh, you know, you can see Hunter there getting a couple of eliminations with the VSS. They're doing a fantastic job. You know, now the guys from Goth Esports, and this is the thing we talk about, you know, maintaining consistency. Goth Esports, this happens so much. You know, I've seen it happen so much in the WAPL so far. You win a chicken dinner, and in the next game you're the first to go home. I mean, I've seen it happen so many times, so consistently. Now Apex tries his best to send a couple of shots towards Punk there. Punk is going to be rotating around his position, and he does pop the smoke behind him. Very, very good use of utilities there. He ready to take the engagement towards Punk. That's a beautiful spray coming in from Apex. He might just be able to catch Punk off guard there, and he does use the Winchester, but no, the Mini 14 is just better, and it is stronger. Swags spotted again by General, but now the last player up for the guys from Goth Esports, and they might just be convening to his position. You can see Hunter, they've heard the shots, and Neo is right behind him, trying to send cover, trying to deal damage towards the guys from Goth Esports. They are in a terrible position, from a chicken dinner to last place in the next game. That is a sight for sore eyes, unfortunately, and their eyes must be sore from all the tears they're about to cry, because Goth Esports are in serious trouble right now. Afro Esports are not the team you want to be trifling with right now, and again, the confirmation is going to come through to General there. 4 eliminations for Afro. Here comes that burger, that chicken burger that we're talking about. 4 eliminations to Afro Esports Fire. They've started again. Is nobody here to stop them?
My goodness, what a gameplay coming in from the boys from Afro Esports right there, as they do find themselves a couple of eliminations that will continue to boost them up on that leaderboard. But it's not just about the eliminations they got, it's about the team that they took out. It's a team who was sitting down in that 3rd position, the boys from Goth Esports, who got the winner chicken dinner in the previous game. If they're continuing to look to see if they can protect their position, this is what they do need to be doing. This is the team that they need to be taking out, and they've done that right there, as well as continue to boost themselves up on that leaderboard. So great stuff, Priest, as you know, the boys from Afro are putting in the work to make sure that they can qualify tomorrow.
You know, I mean, let's not even talk about tomorrow. Let's talk about today. They're trying to qualify today. I'm pretty sure they're trying to qualify today because, you know, they already have like 30-something points. If they can do another 30-something, that's like 25 eliminations. I mean, I wouldn't put it past them. I've seen, you know, the guys from Royal Academy do something very crazy. So hopefully the guys from Afro might just pick up on that and do something even crazier. And they might just be able to score themselves 60-something points, and they will qualify off of that if they can be able to squeeze it out. But then again, 03 is still here. 03 might just be the team that actually does that first. But again, it is Picado right now, and points are starting to be lost, you know. Solo, Doctor has been spotted, and under the vehicle there, you have to be very good with your sprays to be able to shoot someone under the vehicle. Do you think you can actually, you know, shoot someone under that kind of vehicle at long range?
That's fine. I can do anything. So yeah, I can do it. I can do anything. Teams are just lucky I'm not playing. If not, I would tap everywhere. Kidding with that one. All right, so let's get back into the game as we do see the boys from Solo Esports going up against Fowlplay right there. Floyd sent out the shots onto Solo and Lone Wolf. It did a little bit of damage right there, but not able to take down any one of them as they're currently circling around him, trying to look for that opportunity to get a knock. I do believe they're looking to throw in that grenade onto his position and trying as much as possible to make sure he's in a good spot to take them down if they do pull up into that building. And Solo, who have not quite had a good day so far, they've been in this little skirmishes here and there where they've lost a couple of players and they've lost their teammate. They need to make sure that they in Deax and his teammate go in now to provide the support onto their guy who's currently getting circled round.
Ooh, talking about providing support, you don't have to provide support. You just have to be on the offensive. Fowlplay have mastered that ability, being on the offensive every single time. Team Extreme, that's a beautiful shot with the M24 there, all the way across. 11 must have thought his helmet, was made of iron or something that was going to save him from that M24 the moment he heard it the first time. But now the rest of the guys from Team Extreme, this might just be the opportunity for them to pull up to that scene as Sean does get that knock. But unfortunately, there's some ops behind them. So this might just be the opportunity for Sean to use to get out of dodge right there, to escape from this from this area. It is still a dangerous push for them to have. They might just decide to play from another angle and get a confirmation onto the guys from Men of Blood. But the guys from Solo Esports still battling here with Fowlplay. Solo versus Solo. Interesting there, but Solo is going to be dropped by Solo. Beautiful play from the guys from Solo Esports. Fantastic stuff coming in from Fowlplay again. They're trying to play cover, they're trying to keep the rest of the stuff at bay, but this one has given his back to the ops. But a couple of shots being sent again by Lone Wolf. He tries to get upstairs, he's trying to use the higher ground, but the rest of the guys from Solo are chasing him around. They want to eliminate him. He's chasing one after the other, but again he's going to find the opportunity to jump through the roof right there, and he's trying to keep the guys from Solo Esports guessing. And again Sharmut pulls up to the scene. He is going to be the thorn in the side, the free man, the dangerous player. PlayStation 5 still lurking outside. He's cooking the grenade, might just do the thing in here that sends the guys from Solo Esports back into the lobby, but they are back to a 4-man team and they are occupying positions. Grenade starting to come outside from PlayStation 5, but nothing connects. Now is the opportunity for them to dictate the pace of the game. Solo Esports are back up to 4 players. Fire.
Oh, the Boston Solo Esports manages to keep the full team alive for this particular one as Lone Wolf just runs up on that building to buy himself some time while his teammates come in to provide the support. You can see Shamud sending on the shots onto the Boston Solo Esports, but he's not been able to do much damage. They're pretty much trying to find a way into that position. Is it going to be the grenades or are they going to need to just rush in right there? As Lone Wolf is in a lot of danger, they've got to think about a move pretty soon. He's got to find a way out of that building, and that's exactly what he does, as he does find a way out of that position. But they've gotten one knock. Do they now return back onto that position and try to get themselves another knock? Maybe that will be the plan for him.
Lone Wolf doing a fantastic job alone there. I guess that's why they call him the Lone Wolf, because he's been hunting these guys from different angles. He's doing a fantastic job so far, keeping the guys from Solo Esports on their toes. He is going to jump, to the other side of the buildings there. That is the beauty of Picado, but engagement is going to be, the idea of the game. Fowlplay still trying their best, but they are still outnumbered. It's still a 4 versus 3. They've gotten to 2 knocks on the guys from Solo Esports, but then there has still been, the revive that comes right through from the support players, and that's the beauty of playing together in this area. You cannot be playing splits or anything of that sort. You will be spotted, you will be eliminated. As you can see, another solo player from First Arctics just driving his Okada right through, driving by, just hearing the shots ring out between these two teams, not trying to get involved at all. Fowlplay, they're still ready to tank this one, but the play zone is creeping up very, very slowly. The rest of these teams need to be very careful as well, because the numbers are still too high for this phase of the circle.
the time for all of these guys. We've still got about 15 teams left right here as teams are now beginning to rotate into various spots. We can see that zone move eaching and moving towards that should I say southern region, and there are a lot of teams who are already lurking around that region around Chumasera, so it's a very difficult one. We do see right there on the kill feed that the boys from Most Wanted are pretty much getting damaged by the boys from Afro, and Afro continue on their onslaught. This is the map where they usually are getting those kills, so it does look like they might be pushing up onto this one because we do know them to be the aggressive boys, Priest.
Yeah, you know, aggression is the style, you know, of their game as they continue to lay the shots towards the guys from Most Wanted. Bodies dropping bodies every single time. As you can see, Neo, they're using the Mini 14 in all of its elements to send some 5.56 bullets all the way towards the guys from Most Wanted once and once again. But then Team Invictus, I believe they are on his eastern side, so he has to be careful. But he's been spotted immediately by Fox, and he's going to be dropped down. And the confirmation might just ring right through there. Most Wanted sending a couple of shots back towards the guy from Afro eSports, but that is the beauty of Team Afro. They are always ready to pick up the slack, and here comes Hunter for the rescue because the split was just not too tight, not too thin, you know. That's the beauty of a very, very good split. You always have to have someone that's going to cover your back the moment something goes wrong.
Dangerous one right there for the boys from Afro eSports, almost getting taken out right there, but somehow managed to survive for their life. Now with that zone moving all the way towards that southern position, and a lot of it being around the water and the islands, it is going to be really tough. We're moving into a stage 3 zone that's going to feel much like a stage 5, with pretty much half of it not within reach. So we'll see how that one does play out for a lot of these guys. Let's turn outside onto the boys from Rage, who are down with just one player. It is Deji currently trying as much as possible to hold things down for the teammates. We're now beginning to see the boys on 03 just beginning to let loose, getting knock after knock. Skrillex is trying as much as possible to see if he can continue to do the damage at several different corners, but they have come into this game with a 3-man squad. This is when 03 needs to be putting in the work to continue to climb on that leaderboard, but they're with a 3-man squad as well as at the boys from Active Gaming. Maybe they can still do something in this game regardless of being short of the number.
You know, yeah, you know, they are being they're really short on numbers there with 3 players in the lobby, especially, you know, with the kind of slender lead that they have with the rest of those teams. But again, you can see players continuing to fall to the play zone, you know, players continuing to receive damage, you know, from subsequent teams that they've managed to get in the middle of. You know, Invictus is trying to play from the hill right there. The play zone is still just right behind them, trying to dictate, you know, the direction they should be heading into. But again, they might just be running into the guys from Habitual Gaming, another team, you know, that knows how to play a very, very good defensive position. It might just be working out for them the moment they decide to hold out a little bit longer. You know, Most Wanted equal to the task as well, having a little bit of trouble, you know, navigating themselves and getting an angle inside of the play zone. Invictus, however, you know, they finally, you know, found a way to make it inside of the play zone, but now can they maintain this position? You know, they are on the edge, they are on the west. The play zone is going to shift a little bit once more, and it's going to dictate once again what area of the play zone they want to maintain.
Man, that play zone now making a shift that is going to take several different teams towards a really hard spot. The boys from Extreme as well as the boys from MOB are currently situated within that zone right there, but it is really tough for everyone. As you do see the boys from Invictus turning their sights onto the boys from Most Wanted, as Factboy is currently down. The shots going in from Neo. Neo is looking for that confirmation, and the boys from Most Wanted look like they're going to be taken out right there, as their last player is currently outside the zone as well, bleeding out, as Zone 2 OP is putting in the work to continue to reduce the numbers, but we still got 15 teams in the lobby.
Yeah, you know, 15 teams is still a lot of teams so far. You know, that means that so far it is still one team that's been eliminated, you know, and Hunter does set his sights on one of the players from Invictus. That is going to be Titan, but Punk has been knocked down as well. Afro eSports biting off a little bit more that they can chew right now because they are down to a 3-man team. An unfortunate scenario for them because Pintua is there to the rescue, and I don't know if the revive is going to be coming through. Habitual Gaming is somewhere north of that position. They might just get a couple of shots in towards the guys from Afro eSports if they're not careful. Invictus still have the opportunity to get that heal off, but Hunter is going to be driving by there. He cannot go for the revive, unfortunately for him. But again, he's going to try hop into a vehicle and try to escape, but he's been spotted and shots have been sent his way by Habitual Gaming. He might be spotted. Hunter is cutting it a little bit too close. He might just succumb to his injuries there. There's 2 of them left, and the players might just claim him, and that might just be the end for the guys from Afro Esports. It is the end. Afro Esports are falling short in Miramar, but they did not fall too far away. They got 7 eliminations, and again, Active Gaming now is the opportunity for them. They've gotten bodies dropped every single way. 2 eliminations to them, and that's leading the charge.
And about some Active Gaming holding a defensive position right there within that zone, as they do take out a couple of players from Hash Esports. Hash Esports were able to take down one of the players from Active Gaming. They took out Sleepless, and it was caught off guard while he was trying to make that scout in position. But then it is very tough for the boys from Hash Esports, as the 2 players right there, Skinny and Inez, put in the work right there and take down a couple of their players. So they'll be looking to see how they can perform in this one. They're just itching for that final elimination right there, but they got to be really careful, because there's several different teams around this region who will also have the same idea.
You know, I mean, it all boils down to, you know, if your ideas are going to be worthwhile so far. You know, Solo Esports getting found out by that grenade, sending them back into the lobby. Toot Sweet, Invictus following suit as well, and all of these teams falling one after the other. But you have to love O3. With a 3-man team, they still continue to deal damage every single place they go. They've gotten 2 eliminations, courtesy of Skrillex, and he continues to send some shots towards the guys from Most Wanted. Now is Grift setting his eyes on one sends some shots in his general direction. Nothing connects too soon, but he does have a little bit of play zone to cook from, and he might just be serving him a little bit of that grenade very soon if he's not going to escape from that position. You know, again, O3 brothers looking very, very comfortable right there, but this might just be the game for the guys from Disparaged. They've been quiet throughout today, but they do have a 4-man team, and they do look very, very comfortable, but so does Man of Blood. Disparaged do have 3 eliminations, so this might just be the game for them. You know, this might just be the game that they started to cook something, and it might just be that dinner.
And it was some O3 are still trying to hang on for their life. Remember that with the guys who are currently sitting down on top of the leaderboard, so they do need these points to continue to put in a top performance going into tomorrow's games. But it's not looking quite great for the guys who are currently on top, because remember, the boys from Afro have been dealt with, as well as the boys from Active Gaming, who are currently sitting down with just 2 men in this one. So the leaderboard is going to pretty much be shaken up after this particular game if the story does continue this way. So let's continue to see how it's going right now. The boys from Habitual are also putting in the work against the boys from MOB. You can see right there, Jealousy is on the hunt for another player right there from MOB, and he's got to be careful because he has a couple of players on his right hand side, but his teammates are there for the cover. One of them goes down, but they are still. What's the plan for Jealousy here? Are you making a push, or just keep on strafing left to right? I don't understand. Like, he did it the first time. I was like, okay, but I mean, I don't know.
I think it's called pro player moves. It's called pro player moves. You strafe a little to the left, to the right to confuse your ops. You know, your ops don't know which direction you're moving, so they won't know which direction to shoot you from. I guess it works, you know, most of the time. But then if you find, you know, yourself in a 1v1 scenario, please shoot while you're strafing. You know, don't forget to shoot, or else your ops will definitely be dropping you. You know, but then again, Team Extreme finally finding themselves once again in the upper echelon of the top 10 team, but so far they've not been able to squeeze out any eliminations. You know, Senior Boy and I believe Sean have been working hand in hand together just to get a couple of eliminations for their team, but so far they've been falling a little bit short. Habitual Gaming, very, very fantastic spot for them in the zone. They've been doing very, very well, you know, to keep the numbers up for the rest of their team. Finally, one of the players from No Rage Esports has been spotted. I believe that is Deji, and that is going to be the end for him. He's been spotted out, and he's going to be sent back into the lobby. Too sweet. O3 brothers, 3 eliminations, all courtesy of Skrillex. Skrillex is trying to be that MVP. Is he trying to cook the doings? Is he trying to get that chicken dinner for the guys from O3? It's not looking too nice for them. You know, Disparaged have finally decided to wake up, you know, and join the party. Beautiful play and beautiful position coming in from them. They are holding every single team at bay, though. The North is going to be contained, even the West, even the South. The East is even caked up. There's 16 parties in the game. There's 6 teams. Who can snatch it? Is it Habitual Gaming? Is it Active Gaming? Disparaged is there as well. O3 brothers is cooking. Who's it gonna be?
And Disparaged and the boys from Habitual are looking like they can seal this game through, except they both somehow reduce their numbers. But right now, the boys from Habitual, the numbers are getting reduced, as we just spoke about it. As you do see one of the players getting taken down, the boys from MOB are putting in the work to try as much as possible to keep them at bay. Jealousy, what are you gonna do at this particular moment in time? Are you gonna be able to get that extra knock as one of his players goes down again? It's down to the Jealousy. What looks like the way the full team so far is them getting 1v2 by the boys from MOB.
11 and Rage. What a fantastic duo. They absolutely tear through the guys from Habitual Gaming in that fantastic 2 versus 3. I really thought Habitual Gaming had that one in the bag, but they fell very, very short. They did get drawn out. Again, beautiful spray coming from O3 as they spot the guys from Active Gaming, but somehow Active Gaming actually make it inside of the play zone, so now they have the opportunity to get their health levels back up and a little bit of time for them to make their next move, to make their next plan. Once again, Active Gaming in the top 5. Beautiful points collation coming in from them once again. They finally find a way to squeeze through, but so has O3. O3 is still holding that position somewhere. Skrillex moves inside, trying to get an angle onto the guys from Active Gaming. He might just have his eyes set on that position, trying to steal it away from them. You can see Extreme in the north as well, holding out a position, but here comes Skrillex. He's trying to deal damage towards the guys from Active. Unless is prone on the ground, might just be spotted very soon. But here comes the guys from Disparaged, leading the charge with 4 eliminations. They spotted Sean, trying to spot him through the vehicle there, but again, he's spotted. Drops him down. Dishonest has been put down to the ground, and he will be confirmed if he's not careful. If there is no cover, if there is no assistance, yes, the confirmation is going to come through with that M24.
Man, what a time for all of these guys in the lobby. So you can see teams are just battling it out for who's going to be taking home that winner with a chicken dinner at the end of the game. But the boys from Disparaged, they've got the buddies in this one. They've got a 3-man squad, and they're still looking like they can seal this game through. But it's looking really even. At some point in time, it was looking like it was going to go to the boys from Disparaged or Habitual. But at the end of the day, they pretty much just even out the entire lobby. It is 2 players from Men of Blood who have actually been putting in the work, with 11 right there going on and trying to grab his team some points. Also, the boys from 03 who were currently sitting down on top of the leaderboard before this game started, still sitting down with a 2-man squad, as well as Active Gaming, who are also within the conversation. So be curious to see who actually does come out on top within this team, as we got 11 players so far, and we're moving on to that 7th stage. The zone is going to determine a lot of things right now.
Ooh, the zone is coming in clutch. You know, the guys from Men of Blood have found themselves having 6 eliminations and a beautiful position inside of the play zone. But 11 pops, a couple of shots towards the nest right there. Active Gaming have decided to pull up to the scene. Skinny has taken a couple of bullets to the chest right there, but he's able to chest them equally. A grenade starting to cook right side from a nest right there, but he has to fall back to get his health back up. You might just switch again to the grenade, trying to keep the guys from Men of Blood at bay, you know. But Skinny is outside begging for his life. Team Extreme pull up south of that position, and the confirmation from Sean is going to come through surely against Skinny there. He's been spotted, and he is going to confirm him. But fortunately for him, you know, he's given the idea, he's been given the impression that there's some ups around. So all he has to do is peek in from that position. But Senior Boy is right behind him, just to join, just to assist. A Team Extreme, again, this might just be the opportunity for them to claim that chicken dinner. There's two players everywhere you go except Active Gaming. Active Gaming is down to 1 player. Disparaged is still looking like the best of the lot with 3 players up. Shin, Briggs and Array working hand in hand. Dishonest, unfortunately, has been sent back earlier by Sean in that earlier engagement, but Men of Blood still holding the central position. Briggs finally catching, sending a couple of shots towards Senior Boy there. He's been spotted, and that is what you call vengeance. Beautiful grenade to come through from Sean there. Sean does know how to use the utilities in a 1 versus 1 and a 1 versus 2. Peeks to the left hand side, tries the right, but it's not going to work this time around. 03 just better. 03 just OP. Reels is going to deal the damage again towards the guys from Extreme, sending them back out there in 5th place.
Man, what a time for all of these guys in the lobby. As you can see, things are being quite difficult for a lot of players right there, as the boys from 03 do put in the work against Sean and take him out of the game. But for me, it's still looking like the boys from Disparaged might be able to seal this game through. But 03 brothers do have a lot to say about this one, as they are looking, as the body language is looking like they can seal this game. But Disparaged, with a good spot within that zone, may just be able to seal this game through. We'll see how that one continues to build out, as the boys from MOB and 03 have got to put in the work to be able to seal this game through. Shin holding an angle from his teammates, might be able to take out a couple of players right there from 03 brothers. Will this be the position that turns the tide in this particular game, or will it come through from the solo player right there from Active Gaming?
Active Gaming with that penchant for surviving, with a solo player, but Ness just can't survive any much longer as Shin finally spots him, and that is going to be the end for the guys from Active Gaming. They were able to get a couple of eliminations, and they were able to survive just a little bit too long, but fortunately for them, that's a couple of points once again under their belt. Not enough points for me, but just enough to keep them into that race of getting into the finals tomorrow. But now Disparaged leading the charge. Beautiful play coming in from them. The grenade starting to ring out towards the guys from O3. Beautiful grenade from Briggs right there. Gets Skrills down to his knees, but the smokes are already outside. But the play zone is starting to cook them very, very surely. But again, they have the opportunity to hold this one at bay. But finally, the guys from Disparaged have finally decided to wake up. But now they run into the guys from Men of Blood. It is going to be Raid. Gets a beautiful shot onto Shin right there. Sends him down to his knees, and Rage is doing all he can to Rage right now as he gets the first knock, but the moment he peeks outside, he will be spotted. A couple of shots sent towards Briggs. That's a beautiful play. Men of Blood trying to take charge, trying to take all the eliminations. Disparaged in trouble. Left-hand side cooked right now. Rage, all he has to do is charge a grenade, but unfortunately he doesn't have any, and the revive might just be coming through there. Briggs makes the mistake of trying to go for the revive, but again he makes it in time. But Shin is going to be confirmed. Rage just too OP as he picks one and he picks the next. A beautiful play from 11 there. 11 gets a knock onto Skrillex, and he is going to be sending him back into the lobby surely. And another grenade might just come through again by Reels. Beautiful play from 11 there, and that is a fantastic way to hold down the fort for the guys from Men of Blood. But let's not forget, the guys from Disparaged are still down there cooking something, but 11 doesn't know what they're cooking. But again, he is going to send the guys from O3 back into the lobby. 11 just too OP. 1 versus 2, or it's a 2 versus 2 actually. Disarray. Is he going to put these guys in disarray? Left hand side looking very, very free. Disparaged looking like this might just be the game for them. Again, he tries from the left hand side. 11 peeks up, takes a couple of shots, but nothing connects. 11 is spotted. He's dropped down to about 10 HP, and a fantastic play again. Disarray is going to be dropped down, but now he's all left to Briggs. Briggs has to use this opportunity to deal damage back to 11, but 11 gets his health back up. It's a 1 versus 2 now. Oh my god, the guys from Men of Blood are cooking all on the north. 11 gives away his position to the left, but again it's a 2 versus 1. Is he going to claim the 2 of them? No, he doesn't. Men of Blood just too OP, getting themselves that winner chicken dinner with 11 eliminations.
Man, absolutely amazing stuff coming in right there from the boys from Men of Blood as they do grab those 11 eliminations. That might just be enough to boost them up on that leaderboard. Could we say it's coming a little bit late in the day as they've not been able to put in some great performances throughout the entire day? We'll still see what that means tomorrow as they will be vying to qualify all the way into that finals. But some great gameplay coming in as well for the boys from Disparaged. We'll talk about them earlier on as not being able to put in those performances that we saw in the junior league. So maybe this is that moment, this is that time where they step things up.
Disparaged, they've always been very good in Miramar, equally, very, very strong team so far. But it's been fun to watch them, but Men of Blood have actually just been so amazing, as a two-man team. 11 and Rage doing a fantastic job, of holding together, playing a one-off split, one person in front, one person behind. 11 stepping to the front, then Rage holding an angle, on the left-hand side, keeping the guys from Disparaged at bay, using that top hill advantage, but the guys from Disparaged did a fantastic job, however, of rotating, and keeping it together. Men of Blood did finally find, the game they've been looking for. Afro eSports losing a little battle earlier on, to the play zone, and excessive rotation, looking for too many enemies and getting sandwiched, earlier on inside of the game. They did manage to get a couple of eliminations to boot right there, but again, Men of Blood did have an equally similar performance to them, but significantly better with that chicken dinner. And again, this is that thing we talked about, double-digit finishes. The moment you get into a double-digit finish, the better your odds. Men of Blood, we saw that they had this ability in the Sanoff game 2 nights ago, and that showed us, the potential for them to be performing at very high levels.
Absolutely amazing stuff going on right there. As we still seeing the boys from Afro Esports grab themselves a couple of points. So regardless of them not having quite a great game on the lobby so far, they were still able to get themselves 7 eliminations in this particular game. Disparaged coming in with 6 eliminations, as well as the boys from Most Wanted getting 5 right there. So great stuff coming down from all of these teams. I'll be curious to see what that means on the entire leaderboard, as things are now beginning to look closer and closer moving into the final day.
You know, Men of Blood doing a fantastic job, and it's so interesting because, you know, Afro Esports, they get eliminated all the way back in 14th place, you know, but see the damage numbers still continuing to be consistent. You know, O3 Brothers equally doing a fantastic job of still adding points on top of the ones that they already had every single game, and that is what we're talking about, consistency across the board. You know, they keep increasing their distance between the rest of these teams, and Afro Esports, no matter, you know, how bad they have it, they still continue to add points. It is only a danger when you add no points. You know, it is only a danger when you add absolutely no points.
So at the end of the day, it is the boys from O3 who are currently leading the pack with 57 points. And we spoke about this earlier on, Priest. We said, look, if you're going into the finals, if you're going into that final spot, you should have more than 40 points. So you can see that the boys from O3 are sitting down with 57. They're looking quite strong. They're just pretty much 13 points shy of that 40 mark that we did speak about earlier on. Going on in that second spot is the boys from Afro Esports, who are sitting down with 46 points as well. So between these two guys, Priest, right, they come in tomorrow, right? Afro Esports and Active Gaming, they have 1 chicken dinner each, maybe double figures. Do you think that'd be okay for them?
Well, so far, it all boils down to the performance from Men of Blood, Goth Esports, you know, those two teams. It all depends on how those two teams start the day. Now, Goth Esports had a fantastic performance, you know, in the previous game before the Miramar game. But, you know, unfortunately for them, first to Ja in Miramar. So it's an unfortunate scenario for them. They made 0 points, you know, unless they added a couple of points, you know, they would have been, you know, a little bit closer to Afro Esports there, and they would have done, you know, significant numbers. But then again, the distance here, it is still very close. You know, we saw yesterday's teams, you know, the first day, Royal Academy ran away with it. We were about a 29-point difference, you know, and that was the plan for Royal Academy. After that performance, they just kept adding 1 point here, 2 points there, because they knew for a fact, you know, it was very, very difficult, you know, for the rest of the teams to catch up. But fortunately, you know, I saw the guys from Disparaged show us what they're made of, you know, in Miramar. They stepped up to the plate. So hopefully, you know, they finally decided to adapt to the lobby. You know, Vibe Gaming, I really hope to see more from them. Harsh Esports equally, you know, and I'm looking forward to seeing what tomorrow is going to look like, you know, because all of these teams, there's not enough time anymore. We are heading towards the finals sooner. We're inching very, very closely to the finals, you know, and it's very, very crazy, you know, how these teams have been playing so far. But ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be saying, you know, goodbye to you guys right now. Beautiful play coming in from these teams. This is the WAPL. It is your boy Priest, and I'm with my man Fire, and we are signing out. Do not forget to tap in tomorrow, same time, to get yourself some more WAPL action. And also, do not forget, ladies and gentlemen, the NPL. It starts tonight, so do not forget to catch some of your favorite Nigerian teams. You know, slugging it out to who is going to be crowned the #1 team in Nigeria as well. So do not forget to tune in as well to get yourself some more PUBG Mobile content the moment you sign off on here. So it's your boy Priest. It is Fire. WAPL. Same time tomorrow. Don't forget to tap in, like, share, subscribe. See you guys tomorrow. Peace.